contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail. We can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
The area's #1 pool builder for over 40 years is Greenville Pool and Supply. From fiberglass to vinyl to custom concrete, they do it all. And if you already have a pool, make sure your water is clean and safe this swim season with the help of the pros at Greenville Pool. If you bring a water sample to them, they'll test it for you in the store for free. And going on now is the annual water care sale with 20% off all water care products in the entire store. The 20% off sale is going on now until Saturday, April 17th, but only at Greenville Pool and Supply. Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports and we'll guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville. Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. We lost a football coaching legend last month. I'll have some thoughts on a remarkable career next.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
ECU football coach, Mike Houston.
You think about like Bruce Bivens and some of those guys, this is the first time they've had the same defensive coordinator and same position coach 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
They know the system. They feel so much more comfortable going into year 2 with Blake. The offensive kids feel so much more comfortable going into year 3 with Donnie.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Coach Howard Schnellenberger died at the age of 87 last month. A personal note first, I interviewed Coach before the Peach Bowl in Atlanta in 1980 when I was the voice of that game on WSB Radio. His Miami Hurricanes played Bill Dooley's Virginia Tech Hokies. My goodness, that's been over 40 years ago. Howard had that deep, gravelly voice, and I remember him saying, "We are going to put up a fence around the city of Miami. We'll call it the state of Miami, and all the great high school players in the city will come to the U." Well, he pretty much kept them all, so much so that in his 5th year as head coach, Miami won the national championship in 1983. The Pirates played him tough that year and lost 12-7. He was an NFL coach with the Baltimore Colts and in college with 3 other schools, Oklahoma, Louisville, and Florida Atlantic. He won 158 games in his career. He is survived by his wife of 61 years, Beverly, and 2 sons. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 at 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello and welcome into Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Clip Brock here with you inside the Pirate Radio studios and coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 in Washington. We're on 1250 at 930. We are online at pr927fm.com. You can watch the show on Facebook Live and on YouTube, and make sure you're subscribed to Pirate Radio TV. We got a lot of great stuff going on there on YouTube, including our ECU baseball post-game Zooms, our ECU spring football post-practice interviews. Got interviews up right now with Mike Houston, DJ Ford, and Tyler Sneed. You can watch those over at YouTube. Got episode 2 of Pirate Radio Trivia dropping soon. A new ep of Pirate Radio Trivia will be recorded this Friday with a couple of Pirate Radio listeners, Redbeard and John Moody. If you'd like to get in on the act and have an opportunity to win some White Claw and some gift cards to AJ McMurphy's, then you can let me know via Twitter or Facebook, and we'll make sure you can get in on the game. All right, we got a lot of news and notes to get to on this Tuesday, and some guests as well, including WITN Sports Director Billy Weaver. We'll have our weekly chat with Weave coming up at 3:15, talk about what's going on here at East Carolina, NASCAR, a little bit of everything coming up with Weave. At 4 o'clock, we will talk to the Hammer, Jason Hamilton. He is the head soccer coach at ECU. His girls getting ready for the AAC tournament coming up on Thursday. They'll be taking on ranked South Florida, 7 o'clock on ESPN+. Pirates are in the AAC semis, trying to make it to an AAC championship and potentially the NCAA tournament. So we will talk a little ECU soccer on today's program at 4 o'clock. At 4:15, we will talk to the head football coach out at J.H. Rose, Will Bland, the former ECU wide receiver, in his first season as Rose head coach, and they have dominated the competition. They'll take on Lee County coming up Friday night at J.H. Rose in round 1 of the state high school football playoffs. So we'll recap the great year Rose has had and also set up their run for potential postseason success with Will Bland in the 4 o'clock hour. And later on in the 4 o'clock hour, on into the final hour of today's show, Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors will join us to talk about everything going on at ECU, which is quite a bit right now. A lot of ECU athletics news to get to. We'll cover it all with Igoe. We'll also hear some Mike Houston comments. He was on the Brian Bailey Show on Monday. Got that coming your way later on in this program as well. So a lot of guests and a lot of news and notes. Shirley, you want to start us out at the Shirley Rhodes news desk? We got a lot of ECU-related news to pass along today.
Well, the one that we pay close attention to, that we're actually kind of watching, is the fact that the ECU Houston series may be in jeopardy. According to Kendall Rogers, he tweeted that out earlier this afternoon due to some COVID issues. So we got to keep an eye on that and how that's going to potentially play into how the conference is going. I mean, so far ECU has been lucky, that they've been able to play most of their series and not have any issues, but Houston seems to still be struggling within their program, because this is not the first time they've had to put a pause on things. The only hiccup the Pirates have had was not their doing. It was St. John's, who couldn't come down here to play a 3-game series in Greenville against the Pirates. So the Pirates had a quick 2-game makeshift series with Elon, where they went on the road a couple weekends ago, and they were able to get a couple of games in. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, his exact words were, Creighton UConn has been canceled because of COVID issues at UConn. ECU Houston also on the ropes for this weekend, and that is due to, as you said, COVID concerns within the Houston baseball program. So we are keeping an eye on this. When we have news, we will pass it along. Make sure you're following our social media sites on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram for all the latest news and notes. And, I don't know many details right now. Maybe Igoe will have more info for us about an hour and a half from now. But I did talk to Corey Glore today because I was setting up his appearance on the show this week. He'll join us coming up on Wednesday, and he said he would prefer Wednesday to Thursday because he will be traveling on Thursday. So as of earlier this afternoon, he was still planning on heading to Houston for a baseball series, but we will wait and see on that. And with the Kendall Rogers D1 Baseball tweet where he says that ECU and Houston is on the ropes, he added, Creighton UConn canceled because of COVID issues at UConn. Is Creighton, are the Blue Jays a potential partner for the weekend? And if so, do they come here, or do the Pirates
go to Omaha to play Creighton?
I really did.
Jim Rompals.
I really didn't know how to respond to that. Wow.
It was a rhetorical question.
Yeah, but you threw me for a minute, and my brain just jumped the tracks, and there are no survivors at the moment.
Omaha!
We would get to Omaha.
Yeah.
If that were, we're going.
Omaha! Omaha! So we're keeping an eye on that.
Well, you know what? Now that you mention it, I wonder. Now, obviously, this is within just the baseball program, but you have to keep an eye on it because it just depends on how things play out. But the ECU softball team is also scheduled to go to Houston this weekend for a 4-game series. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. As of right now, there's no change in that, but. If Houston as a whole, like as a campus, is having issues, there may be some problems there. So we'll keep an eye on that as well.
We have, as humans, we have 2 eyeballs, and then I shouldn't say that. Not everybody. Some
folks have just the one.
Just the one. Some have 2, but they are non-functioning. So Shirley, I'll keep an eye on baseball.
I'll keep an eye on softball.
You keep an eye on softball. I'm going to keep this other eye free for other things going on. Chandler, where are your eyeballs?
Clip, people might not know this, but there's people out there that don't have both eyes.
People, I talked to a lot of people.
Watch my
What is wrong with it? Oh, Shirley got a new tat.
Chandler just grazed it, and I was like,
"Oh, I'm sorry.
Easy on that.
Hey, don't graze the tat, bruh.
Don't graze my tat, bro. Hilarious.
Go easy, bro.
Tattoo, Shirley. All right, so our eyeballs are all set and ready to go. I have my eye on an ECU football news and note. Shirley.
You do.
Dealing with special teams.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we go to our special teams correspondent, Chandler Honeycutt, for this news? Okay.
Because I just found out about it like maybe 10 minutes ago.
ECU kicker Patrick Nations has entered the transfer portal. So Jake Verity is taking his talents to the next level. Patrick Nations, one of the potential kickers on this year's team, along with Owen Daffer. And Nations apparently sees the writing on the wall here and has entered the portal. So I had mentioned this a couple of times this offseason. It's pretty rare that you go into a season with battles at kicker and punter. It seems like more times than not, you know who your kicker is, you know who your punter is heading into the season. Well, the Pirates had a couple of kickers battling, Nations and Daffer. And, of course, they have 2 punters that are going to play this year because we saw them both play last year in Luke Lowry and John Young.
Luke Larson.
Luke Lowry was a former ECU baseball player. Luke Larson is the punter.
It's great to have Luke Lowry back.
That is why.
Different.
That's why you're my special teams expert, because you know the names of the people.
Like the long snapper.
Yes. Who is the long snapper?
Oh, I don't know. I have heard over the weekend that there was some injury issues at the long snapper position. So I'm not sure. I'm not going to get into details because I'm not sure 110%. I'm not going to report something that's not true. So
you reported Russell Wilson to the Bears.
That's a whole different story.
Okay, it was, and it was incorrect.
And you know what else? I got this correct.
I know you did.
Yeah, you called Jaden Gordon to Virginia. I mean, is that the one you're going to celebrate?
Who was last year's long snapper?
Robert Hill.
He is not on the roster, correct?
Not of right now.
Good grief.
Not as of right now.
Not as of right now.
Oh boy.
We're off to a roaring start on today's edition of Pirate Radio.
Is it time to call Weaver yet?
We're going to call Weaver here in a few. So there's your ECU football, ECU baseball. And look, Jaden Gardner's not on ECU's basketball team anymore. I understand that people are kind of tired of hearing about him, so we're not going to, talk about him every day. But the news that came out last night, he is going to Virginia, and Chandler called it. Way to go, Chandler!
Thank you.
I'm glad it's not NC State. So,
I just kept saying Virginia, hoping that I would talk it into existence for him not to go to NC State.
Yeah, well done.
So you're welcome, everybody.
Igoe had a note earlier today.
Oh, about the transfer rule.
The American Athletic Conference has eliminated the intra-conference transfer policy. Previously, student athletes transferring from one American institution to another had to sit out a year. This will no longer be required. And that is effective immediately, which means Aaron Jarman, the tight end from Temple.
Tight end.
Yeah.
We have
does
one
that
more
make
tight end in our room.
what does that make now? Like 35?
Yes.
Yeah, no, actually 37.
Oh, okay.
Aaron Jarman from
Temple.
Lenoir County went to Temple and now is back in Eastern North Carolina and will play for his favorite team growing up, the ECU Pirates. All right, any other news and notes, Shirley?
No, that was the only other one that popped into my head.
The Hornets are out of players. They could use a tight end or any position right now.
Anything.
So PJ Washington is out tonight. They play the who, Chandler?
Los Angeles Lakers.
And Washington's out. Terry Rozier.
Oh, yeah!
He is doubtful for the game.
Oh, no!
So you've got, you know what's funny?
What's funny?
We've never played an Eric Collins cut on the show, but yeah, you do his voice like every day. Like I heard Jim Rome play an Eric Collins cuts yesterday on the Jim Rome show. They're all over Twitter. They never say him by name. They just say the Hornets announcer. Give the guy a little bit of respect.
They are starting to kind of recognize him. I've known Eric Collins since he took over for Steve Martin in 2015, 2016.
Well, ain't you a bad...
Me and him go way back. I mean, I actually showed up to a Hornets Live set one time, and he, gave me a high five and complimented my hat, and I said, "Oh yeah,
Thanks, Eric.
Is that a true story?
True story.
You have given a high five to Eric Collins.
And Dale Curry.
We're
basically bros.
Who
I had Dale's phone number one time.
Oh, whoa! Keep your personal stuff to yourself, Shirley.
Was this before, what's his beautiful wife's name? Mama Curry.
I cannot.
I think that's what everybody calls
What's her name, Chandler?
Chandler, you're supposed to know these things.
I've only hung out with Dale, not his wife. Or I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Sonia is her name. Sonia wins fatality.
I've got a Eric Collins cut, if you would like, on my soundboard.
All right, let's hear it from the manual Chandler Honeycutt soundboard. Here we go.
Cody Zeller, offensive rebound. Bridges! Oh, my God!
He is a lunatic. I'm still team Steve Martin, but I mean, Eric Collins, he loves what he does.
I'm always Steve Martin. I'll always be a Steve Martin fan. I'll always be team Steve Martin, but just living in the moment of Eric Collins right now.
Who are the most famous high fives you've ever received?
Oh, man. I don't know. Eric Collins is up there.
All right, Dale Curry is more famous than Eric Collins.
I think I got like a low five.
Okay.
I was on the field in 2009 for ECU UCF, and I think I got a low five from Travis Williams, Spida. So I'll count that as well.
That's Travis Simmons.
Travis Simmons.
All right,
sorry.
we're 1-1 now on names.
That's who it was. It was Travis Simmons, not Travis Williams. It was Travis Simmons.
Okay.
So it was Spida.
I got a high five from Donnie Wahlberg. That's it.
Congrats.
Yeah, hell yes.
Donnie D is on the backup, drug free. So put the crack up.
That's right.
All right. I think we've done enough damage here in segment number 1.
In 14 minutes, we tanked the show.
Hey, look, we passed along some very valuable information there.
Yes, we got Chandler got high fives.
We got 2 former ECU, one current and 1 past ECU player's name wrong. And Tony Dunn's not even here.
Chandler slightly injured my arm.
He grazed the tat.
So
no tat grazing over there.
Give me back my tat.
Give me back my tat. Steve Hill says, come out to AJ's tomorrow, 8 o'clock. He'll be guest hosting. Great food specials. And you can put some ranch on it.
Oh, nice.
Hold on just a minute.
With
have it ready.
No matter what you order at AJ's, you can put
some ranch on it.
Put some ranch on it.
Put some ranch on it. It's like he's about to break down and cry.
Yeah, put some ranch on it.
Which is great.
Susan likes the ribs. She's going to have ribs on the patio tonight at AJ's.
Nice.
Y'all put some ranch on it.
Put some ranch on them ribs. Ribs always a good call at AJ McMurphy.
They are. They're really good.
Let's take a time out. When we return, we will check in with WITN Sports Director Billy Weaver. We will recap the top ECU stories of the day, talk some local sports, NASCAR, and more with Billy Weaver when we return on Pirate Radio Live, Hour 1 here on a Tuesday. We're back with you after this.
National Signing Day has come and gone, but that doesn't mean the recruiting news cycle is stopping. In fact, the Pirates still have their sights set on top targets in the transfer portal and have already turned their attention to the 2022 class. HoistTheColors.net has the latest on EC recruiting from a football perspective, and we also cover basketball and baseball commitments like no others. Sign up now and get your first month for a single $1 to get the latest scoop on your favorite Pirate teams, along with in-depth baseball and spring football coverage in the months ahead. HoistTheColors.net.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 GMC and save over $5,000 off, or 0% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Good things come to those who wait. At Jersey Mike's, they also come to those who don't. Download our app, order ahead, and skip the line. Cut to the Chase by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Domino's week-long carry-out deal means you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each every day. That's right, $7.99 each, and every day means any day. But just in case there's any confusion, we've set up a helpful website to confirm if today's a day you can carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each at Domino's. Just go to howaboutoday.com to find out if Domino's week-long carry-out deal is valid today. Spoiler alert, it is. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes extra large and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
North Carolina State Parks is proud to announce that they have partnered with the Hometown Strong program. Our visitor centers are now equipped with public Wi-Fi to help kids with school. Remote learning has become a critical public health measure in maintaining social distance and continuing to educate our young people. Take advantage of Wi-Fi and a hike at Goose Creek State Park or a day trip to the beach and access remote learning at Fort Macon State Park. For more information, visit hometownstrong.nc.gov.
Let us help you get back to business.
This is Donald Stocks
and Justin Judge of PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
We're ready to assist your business with branded PPE. Would you like face masks with your logo? We can do that. Plus custom social distancing signage.
Now is the time to ramp up your marketing efforts. Whether it's cutting edge, contactless, touchless marketing, or traditional direct mail, we can do it all.
We are PIP of Eastern North Carolina.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Sam Jones of Sam Jones Barbecue and Skylight Inn fame. If it's not cooked with wood, it's not barbecue. That's kind of the big theme of Skylight and your family's history of whole hog barbecue.
If you go back to the origins of barbecue, that was the only heat source. You know, once upon a time, people cooked hogs in the ground. Simply dig a hole, put something to span that pit, and lay the hog on it. Sometimes it was tree limbs, for instance. And I said, after all these generations, our family has evolved about 3 foot above grade. In the block pit.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
This is Coach Donnie Kirkpatrick, Office Coordinator for ECU Football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful, and that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank & Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank & Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. Chandler Honeycutt, intern Tully here in the Pirate Radio studios. I am Clip Brock, and Billy Weaver joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. WITN Sports Director joins us each and every Tuesday here on the program to talk sports. Weave, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, Cliff. How about you?
Doing great. We've got a lot of ECU news and notes to get to, and we'll hit them all. Let's start with, I guess, Pirate Baseball. We're all kind of waiting to hear what's going to happen with this weekend series. Kendall Rogers, D1 Baseball, tweeted out earlier today that, first of all, Creighton and UConn will not play this weekend due to COVID concerns in the UConn program. Also, as he put it, ECU in Houston is on the ropes due to COVID issues within the Houston program. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens with that. And this is the second time we've been in this situation when St. John's couldn't make it here to Greenville. So Cliff Godwin was able to quickly schedule two with Elon. If the Pirates can't go to Houston this week, we'll see if the Pirates can try to add a couple of games as they did earlier this season.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case. And that's going to be the case with not only baseball programs, but any program that's playing right now or that's going to be playing in the near future. They're going to have backup plans, and that's pretty much been the case with every sport. And that people are being forced to kind of think out of the box with this thing and think ahead. And East Carolina was able to do that earlier in the season with that 2-game series that they were able to put together with Elon so quickly. So hopefully that's something that the Pirates learned from. Ideally, obviously, you want to go to Houston. You want to go and play a team, that you can go in and at least win a series, if not sweep another series. East Carolina's on the roll right now. I mean, they're 8-0 in conference play and have won 9 straight. So this is a team that wants to play, and I'm sure that Coach Godwin and his staff have been on the phone. If we already know about it, they certainly know about it. They certainly know it's a possibility, and I'm sure they've been on the phone trying to make sure that they've got all the bases covered, and I'm not trying to, no pun intended there.
Well done. Hit a home run there. I saw Tyler Feldman at the park this weekend, and, man, I saw a lot of fans, too. And those games, look, ECU, as you said, 8-0 in conference play, but they've dominated the competition, but at the same time, they haven't dominated every game. There's been some nail-biters. There's been some big moments, and key outs by Cam Colmore and Garrett Saylor out of the bullpen, or key hits like a Josh Moylan 2-run single to break a tie. You can hear how big of a difference the crowd makes out at Clark LeClaire. Still not 100%, still not what they want capacity-wise, but there's definitely a baseball atmosphere out at Clark LeClaire Stadium on the weekends.
Oh, absolutely. And just because that place is not packed doesn't mean that the atmosphere is not going to be great, because if you think about it, the people that are there are the people that are the big diehard fans. Those are the ones that are doing everything they can to find a ticket and a way to get into that stadium. So, of course, they're going to be the loudest. They're not going to be the ones sitting on their hands and, the ones that are the casual fans that are asking, okay, what's going on now? They know every pitch, what's going on. So I think that's the good part about it, is that the fans that are there are very knowledgeable of the game. And, I was out there on Friday, and it was fun just to hear the folks out in the jungle, Brian Dilday and those guys with the megaphones out there in the outfield. Those guys are a lot of fun. They really are. They know exactly what they're doing, and, it's still the jungle, and it's still Clark LeClaire atmosphere, although there's not, a capacity crowd there right now.
Charles on Facebook Live says, schedule UNCG, Battle of the Godwins. And, I thought about this, Billy. Is it too soon? Is it still too raw for Billy Godwin to take on the Pirates? I do know this, too, and you covered a lot of UNCG guys in high school, right? There's a ton of Eastern North Carolina guys on that Spartans roster.
Oh yeah, and that's been the case with UNCG for a long time. And if you look at UNC Wilmington, Elon, Campbell, a lot of those have rosters that are dotted with Eastern North Carolina, but especially UNC Greensboro for some reason. Of course, Billy Godwin, he knows this area, he recruits this area. So yeah, I would love to see that. I think that would be the Godwin versus Godwin. And I think if you talk to Billy Godwin, I think it's been he's far enough removed from this, and when you're in a situation like this, and when two teams or two programs need to get games together, you kind of throw all that stuff out the window. So yeah, I would love to see that. I think that'd be awesome.
Talking to Billy Weaver on the Fixed NC Live line. Mike Houston was on the Brian Bailey Show on Monday. We mentioned fans a moment ago, and Mike Houston is really ready to see fans at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. Brian Bailey asked him about playing with no fans last year, and Mike Houston had a great response. Here's how that sounded.
Oh, it's not even close. I mean, it's certainly come a long way since that first day.
Cut 4.
After we kind of got into it and you got kind of used to it, it was fine because once the game starts, you get so just engrossed in the ball game in front of you that you don't really notice everything around you. But certainly, I've said it many times, that SMU game, if we had had a full stadium in that first half, they may not have come out of the locker room, for the second half. So
they didn't want to anyway.
Well, I mean, but you know what our stadium is like when we're on a roll. And it would have been suffocating. Yeah. And so I really look forward to getting back to that. Hopefully it's this fall. Hopefully we can get things under control in our state on a lot of levels, and that way we can have capacity crowds again.
Weave, to hear him say suffocating fired me up. I mean, you know what it's like being there field level when it's going crazy. And yeah, that SMU game, things would have been wild. Think about South Carolina coming up later this year and some of the home conference games, how crazy it could be in there. And it got me fired up. It got me hopeful that we can see that kind of atmosphere at Dowdy-Ficklin this fall.
Well, Clip, if you think about it, when you think about East Carolina University, all the venues there, Clark LeClaire Stadium, even Minges Coliseum, no basketball tradition at all, really, in basketball. None. But there have been times where Minges Coliseum has been electric. Obviously, Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium, when it's rocking, you got NC State in there, or like a Virginia Tech or North Carolina or somebody like that, or just a big game in general where the fans get hyped up. There's not a venue at East Carolina University that is not absolutely fun when the fans are there and they're getting rowdy. So yeah, I mean, I think that goes across the board. Of course, Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium is the biggest stadium, it holds 50,000 fans, and I just can't wait to see that place electric again, and hopefully that's this fall. I agree with them 100%. It seems like we're trending in the right direction here in the state, and not just in the state, but nationally. And hopefully we're getting back to some sense of normalcy, and hopefully by the fall we can get that place rocking, because when that place is rocking, and especially with what we expect to see from East Carolina's football program this season, being more physical, being more, flying around the football, that's stuff that really gets the fans fired up. So I'm excited about the fall, definitely, and hopefully it'll be where we can have full capacity.
I've had some fun times in Minges as well, as you said. That place can get rocking. And ECU basketball note just 5 minutes ago, John Rothstein tweeting out that East Carolina will host Southern Miss as part of its 2021-2022 non-conference schedule. So an old friend and foe, Southern Miss, coming back to Greenville, Weave, in basketball.
Yeah, I've always liked that series in any sport.
Yeah.
I mean, Southern Miss, East Carolina kind of mirrored itself with a couple of programs, Virginia Tech being one of them. If you remember back in the day, Virginia Tech and East Carolina were so very similar. Of course, Virginia Tech got into the Big East and then ahead to the ACC and just kind of went to a different level, so to speak. But I always thought that East Carolina and Virginia Tech were very similar programs. And with East Carolina and Southern Miss, also thought they were very similar programs. College towns, the fans are, really rally around that program. It was a shame that Southern Miss wasn't able to kind of make the move when East Carolina did, and maybe get into the American Athletic Conference or something like that. So I think it's always fun to play those types of programs.
Billy Weaver joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. We've coming up in just a little bit. Going to talk to Will Bland, the former ECU wide receiver, now the head football coach out at J.H. Rose. And I'm going to bring this up with Will, but I talked to him last summer. I was kind of going around the county talking to coaches because you remember at that time we thought there was still a possibility they could have played a 2020 fall football season. Well, we've had no interest in talking about that. Just straight hung up on me. Of course, that's not as bad as saying F you like he did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, things could have been a lot worse like last week.
Shall I call him back?
Yeah, see if we can reconnect with
that's him right there.
We've had some issues with Weave here the last couple of weeks. At least he didn't curse this time.
Hang on a second.
Billy's going to rejoin us. I was talking about Will Bland and the J.H. Rose football team who will be playing Friday night at home, and I believe we've reconnected with Weave. Billy, I was saying that Will Bland, when I talked to him last summer, was super confident to the point where I thought he was overconfident. He knew the players he had on his team. He also said he had an ace up his sleeve when it came to bringing in an assistant coach. That coach happened to be Caleb King. So he knew exactly what he had, and it's all, been played out on the field, and his guys are the real deal. And, Conley guy, of course, but I'm hoping I pull for Will Bland. So for him, I hope the Rampants have success in this playoff run. But regardless, they've had a dominant regular season this year.
Yeah, they have. Rose has got 3 or 4 Division I prospects there. Michael Allen, their running back, is exceptional. Kevin Hamilton at wide receiver, and not just wide receiver, but I think a big move for Will Bland and those guys, what they did in the off seasons when they put Kevin on that defensive side of the ball, and he's really, that was kind of their weak spot, was on defense, and they needed something. They were in a situation where their offense was really hitting on all cylinders, but they had to outscore people to win. And that'll come back and bite you in the long run. So they needed to shore up that defense. They put Kevin Hamilton on that defense and gave them a really big spark. And I tell you what, I think this Rose team has really got a shot to make a deep run in the playoffs. That's for sure.
Weave, what other games are you looking forward to seeing coming up this weekend? What other playoff action regarding Eastern North Carolina teams are you looking forward to?
Well, Washington's going to be at home, and that's going to be fun to watch out to see how far Washington can go. Obviously, Washington knocked off Kinston 50-49 in overtime in the final week of the regular season. Kinston had gone into that game; they were outscoring their opponents 187-0. They hadn't been scored on all regular season, and then Washington hangs 50 on them. So they're feeling really confident right now. Of course, Tarboro is what they are, and I would imagine Tarboro is going to be one of those teams vying for the 1A state championship, and in the 3A, Havelock is going to be there as well. They're 5-0 or 6-0, I think, and undefeated on the season. So there's a lot of teams in Eastern North Carolina, and it seems like it's always the same teams year in and year out. But those are not teams anymore. Those are programs. I mean, you look at Havelock, you look at Rose, you look at Tarboro. Those are all programs. So those are going to be a lot of fun. Tarboro is actually playing host to Manio. And Manio is led by Sport Sawyer's former Washington coach. So it's going to be nice to see him. I'm going to try and get up there and watch some of that game. So I'm very excited about the start of the spring high school football playoffs.
We've, Washington beat Kinston. We had no idea. It's not like we've been playing this cut all week on the show.
Put some ranch on it.
Put some ranch on it. Perry Owens, he had an incredible post-game press conference and pulling for the Pam Pack just to see what that guy can continue to do in post-game interviews. That was awesome.
Yeah, he's a young, very excitable coach. He was very emotional after the game, and that's the thing is everybody, and me included, I thought Kinston was going to win that game. I thought Washington was going to give them a run. I didn't think Washington had enough to beat them because Kinston's defense, obviously when, no one has scored on you all year.
Yeah.
And, defense wins championships. That's just the way it is. I thought that Kinston would win that game. I thought it would be a relatively close game, but man, I tell you what, Washington really showed me something. And, I think he took it personal, and the team took it personal that they were such, an underdog, and so many people were saying they didn't have a chance in that. So it is going to be fun to watch them play. And as a result, Kinston's got to go to Northeastern, and that's going to be a very tough draw in the first round.
So Billy was one of those guys that had to eat his words and put some ranch on it, apparently. He thought Kinston was going to win.
Put some ranch on it.
You know what? I like ranch. I'll take it. I'll eat my word.
There you go. Put some ranch on it, Weave. All right, Billy, let's talk a little NASCAR. Maybe we were a week early with the Denny Hamlin predictions, as they are back in Virginia coming up this week at Richmond. But Martin wins at Martinsville. Martin Truex Jr. pulled out the win on Sunday, and we'll see what happens coming up this Sunday at Richmond.
Yeah, you know what? I was really thinking I was going to get my first prediction right this year, because Denny Hamlin led, I think, 260, 270 laps or something. He led more laps than anybody did at Martinsville, and I thought, hey, man, I think I finally got one right. And then Martin Truex Jr. pulled one out in the end, and first repeat winner. And then if you look ahead to into Richmond, Martin is one of those favorites to win again. As a matter of fact, I think Vegas has him odds on favorite 4-1 to win. But Denny Hamlin's right behind him. So if you look at guys that, if you want to lay bets on drivers at Richmond, I think you go Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Brad Keselowski, who won the last race there, Kyle Busch, he swept there in 2018. So those are the guys. Joey Logano, I think you got to throw into the mix too. So those are the guys that are going to be your heavy favorites going into Richmond. And it's a fun track, and that is truly Denny Hamlin's home track. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to pick Denny again. I think I would pick Denny over Martin Truex Jr. just because of the fact that I don't know if we're going to have a 3-time winner this early in the season.
I had Denny and Chase Elliott last week, Weave, and I felt good about that for about 99% of the race. As you said, they were Denny was at the top, Chase was near the top, but Martin Truex Jr. Picks up the win. Saw this story, Weave, regarding our Washington football team. They have signed Sammis Reyes, who I've never heard of, and that's because he's never played football before. He hopes to be the latest D1 basketball player to make it as an NFL tight end. He is, 6'6", 260, and he did work out at Florida's Pro Day, and Washington has decided to sign him, give him a shot. He played at Tulane. He averaged 0.8 points and 1.5 rebounds a game. So he is, the NFL, they're always trying to, they copy one another, and they always try to find the next big thing, the kind of dark horse, and Washington hoping they found one here in this tight end.
Yeah, in the tight end situation, Tony Gonzalez is one of probably the most successful and famous guys that were the basketball player turned NFL.
And Antonio Gates not far behind him.
Yeah, Antonio Gates, another one.
Yeah.
There's been a handful of those guys that have been able to do that. Now, can this young man do it? Like I said, I until today, I didn't know his name.
Yeah,
I really didn't. But there's, the thing about the NFL is we've seen this happen even at ECU with guys that weren't superstars at ECU, that weren't major prospects or whatever, that made it on NFL rosters because they have two things that you cannot teach, and that's size and speed. When you look at a guy that's 6'5", 260 pounds or whatever, and from what I understand, he runs a 4.6 40. You can't teach that. You can teach the other things, and there are athletes that are, guys that are just plain flat out athletes. So I think it's worth taking a risk on. You need somebody on the other side of Logan Thomas. And speaking of making conversions, he was a quarterback that made the transition to tight end. So they have a little experience in that, and will he make the roster? Who knows? But I think it's worth a shot, definitely, because like I said, there's two things you can't teach, and that's size and speed.
Billy Weaver joining us. Jacob DeGrom, who somebody told me a line they saw earlier, and it said, I can't wait to hear Jacob DeGrom's Hall of Fame speech, because everybody goes up there and thanks everybody. He said, and DeGrom's going to have no one to thank. I'd like to thank myself because my teammates stink because they can't give me any run support. That has been the case once again for him this year. Mets also hadn't been able to get a whole lot of games in, 2-3 to this point. But it is, and it's probably not funny to you as a fan, but it is borderline comical what happens every time he pitches, Weave.
Yeah, it is, and that that just happens. There's something about that. There's been pitchers. As a matter of fact, was it Smoltz or Glavine or one of those guys for your Braves?
Yeah,
that couldn't get a whole lot. If I remember correctly, back in the day when they were really good, and their pitching staff was amazing. They had Smoltz, Glavine, and Maddox and those guys. But if I remember correctly, I don't think that staff got a whole lot of run support. I would take the pitching over the hitting, but at some point you got to have some run support, and DeGrom's definitely not been able to get that from his teammates for sure.
We covered it quite a bit. Anything else we missed? What else you guys have going on at WITN?
Well, I did notice. I saw where Joe West.
Oh, man.
From Greenville.
Thank you so much for bringing that up. I saw that story today.
Yeah,
go ahead.
A $500,000 lawsuit against
Paul LaDuca.
Paul LaDuca, yeah. And I thought that was very interesting. I read the article, and, he was saying, LaDuca had badmouthed him and said that he was, calling balls and strikes because of his buddy on the mound that he let drive a 57 Chevrolet and all. It's very comical to me, but yeah, it's a $500,000 reward that Joe West has won.
Yeah, be careful about the tall tales you tell on air. Paul LaDuca on a podcast said that Billy Wagner, I'm talking to Billy Weaver. See, now Billy can sue me because I put your name in it. Billy Wagner bribed Joe West into using a bigger strike zone so he could use his 57 vintage Chevrolet. This sounds like a Billy Weaver story. He loves his vintage vehicles.
That's right.
Joe West straight up sued him and won. And how much was it? Like $500,000?
Yeah. Now, $250,000 of it was for mental anguish and stuff because it was said in the case that Joe West was so worried about not being able to get into the Hall of Fame. He's retiring at the end of this season. He's the longest tenured Major League Baseball umpire. He's the senior umpire around the circuit. I mean, he's definitely a Hall of Famer, and he was worried that he was going to be lumped into the same situation as like a shoeless Joe Jackson, or something like that, to where
Pete Rose
wasn't. Pete Rose, yeah, or somebody that had, kind of, disrespected the game, so to speak. And he was really worried about that, and his lawyer made that, part of the argument, and part of that was $250,000 of that was for his mental anguish. So.
And, yeah, according to this article, it says, according to the decision, a Hall of Fame election can mean at least $100,000 a year in appearances and card shows. So that's where they got part of that number from. So Joe West, if you see him around Greenville riding a vintage 57 Chevy or a even more expensive car, now you know why. That was a crazy one, Weave.
Yeah, it was very crazy. And you know what? The thing is this is going to be another story for Joe West. If you've ever had the honor of meeting Joe West, which I did, I met him a few years back at a celebrity golf tournament on the base at Camp Lejeune, and he was just amazing. Some of the stories that he has, I could sit down there and listen to him for days, and this is going to be one of those crazy stories again in the Joe West repertoire, and he's definitely been around a long time, and he's such a fun guy and one of the most lovable guys, and the guy they call Cowboy Joe, and for good reason.
On that note, as we wrap it up, Chandler was talking about giving a high five to Hornets announcer Eric Collins and Dale Curry, and I asked who his most famous high fives went to, and you've brushed shoulders with some legends, and off the top of my head, I think at the top of your list, you're going to have Dale Earnhardt, you're going to have Joe Gibbs. Any other famous, who's your most famous shoulder brushes with all time?
Well, I did get to interview Michael Jordan back in the day, and that was when he was with the Bulls, and I was in Columbus, Georgia, and covering the Atlanta Hawks, and the Hawks weren't very good, and but Jordan and the Bulls were in town. Of course, that was a big thing, and going into the locker room, and it was more of a, kind of like we do with a scrum, but, I got to ask him a couple of questions up close and personal. That was really cool, and to be able to sit courtside and watch Jordan play is something I'll always remember. The very first interview I ever did was with Patrick Ewing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I was an intern at a TV station in South Carolina, and we went to the Hornets-Knicks game, and that was the very first person I ever got to get up close and personal with. I was an intern, and that was just an all...
Yeah, he's an intimidating dude, right? Especially to an intern.
And to tell you the truth, I think up to that point in my life, he was probably, I got to say, he was the second biggest man I had ever seen up close and personal. Andre the Giant was the biggest man I'd ever seen in my life, and that was at the Norfolk Scope for the one of the old wrestling events that they had there, and there was a battle royale that I saw Andre the Giant up close and personal, but it's really a cool deal when you see somebody like that in person.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, man. Always enjoy the chat. We will do it again next week with you.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Billy Weaver, WITN Sports Director, sharing some stories and talking about what's going on in the world of sports. That Joe West one was crazy. I'm glad he brought that up. I mentioned to bring that up on the show today, but $500,000 in damages because Paul LaDuca got on a podcast and basically said Joe West cheated in a baseball game, and West sued him, and he got some cash.
Well, I mean, Joe West is not known for taking things lying down, I mean, he's probably had his fair share of run-ins with baseball players over the years, but...
he said, tell him to bring me my money.
Tell him to bring me my money.
So be careful all these tall tales you guys are telling on Pirate Radio. It could come back to haunt you one day.
Tell him to bring me my money.
What if Eric Collins and Dale Curry aren't allowed to touch fans on the set of Hornets Live, and he hears this and he sues me?
Like you were close to him, but you never actually made hand contact with him, and he says that's not true, and I'm going to sue Chandler Honeycutt.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, you
$500,000.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Tell him to bring me my money.
Sorry, Shirley, go ahead.
No, I was going to say,
yeah.
I mean, you also have to look at it from the standpoint of, I mean, if every umpire did that, I mean, the precedent you're setting, it's difficult to prove, for one thing, because you walk that fine line of free speech, and then
I wonder if Wagner was interviewed in that story, because you said it's difficult to prove. I wonder if they brought in witnesses and everything. So,
well, I mean,
I have to read into that.
And what I mean by prove the difference between how this, supposed, or how this interview affected his life to the point where he could not, as you put, could have cost him money.
Yeah.
I mean, you're walking that fine line between free speech and libel, basically. And so, I mean, it would be a difficult hill to climb, I would think.
Go read the story. It's pretty interesting. I'd like to hear more on it, how the whole case was heard, and who, did LaDuca speak to. I don't know if this is like I don't think this is a jury case, is it? If it's a case like this, it's probably just a judge.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be just a judge taking a look at it.
But, man, he got $250,000 for past mental anguish and emotional distress, another $250,000 for expenses he would need to incur in retaining a public relations firm, blah, 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 blah. That's a lot of cash.
Wow.
So
$500,000 because somebody said he cheated.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would anybody like to say I cheated in a rec league softball game?
Yeah, if anybody would like to say that I happily cheated, and I will happily sue you and happily walk away with
If anyone would like to say that I cheated in a game at AJ McMurphy's, please say that I
Sports
cheated.
trivia?
Yeah.
Anybody got a half a meal to spare?
Chandler Rome said softball Shirley cheated in her last tournament down in Florida.
Ooh.
So
he better watch out.
He's going to lose that jacket. And the
Give me back my jacket!
And the goatee. All right, let's take a time out. We'll come back, wrap up hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Hour 2 on the way with Jason Hamilton from ECU Soccer, and also Will Bland, the head football coach out at J.H. Rose. Stephen Igoe going to join us later on in hour 2 as well. So we are packed and ready to roll on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
At US Cellular, we see our customers as more than just customers. They're neighbors. When you switch to US Cellular, you can get the new Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free with no hidden requirements. As a neighbor, you deserve it. US Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Does the idea of going to your local US Cellular store make you feel a bit uncomfortable? Tired of the hassle of waiting and wearing a mask? Let Toby Williams and his outside sales team take away that worry. They will come right to your home or office and drop your phone off on the porch or at the front desk for you. Saving you time and worry is what the team at Cellular Warehouse is all about. Call Toby today at 252-799-7051 and let them help you with all of your wireless needs. Cellular Warehouse, your local US Cellular authorized agent.
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
In studio today with Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions. And Tony, you love to help people remodel spaces or even do new construction.
We do, and we also can help people find financing when they want to do projects like this. And so we partner with folks like Joey Barrow with Annie Mac Mortgage.
And Joey's in studio with us as well. And Joey, people have a lot of financing questions to be able to help reach the home of their dreams, whether it's remodel or new construction.
No matter how large or small the project may be, we have options for you. Even if you have credit concerns, we provide guidance to help you get the home of your dream or turn the home that you currently have into the home of your dream.
Joey, how can folks get up with you?
You can call us today at 917-8400, or you can go to our website at greenville.annie-mac.com.
And Tony, what about if people have renovation questions? How can they get up with AG Home Solutions?
You can contact us at 947-2526 or check out our website at aghomesolutions.com.
Thanks again to Tony Edwards from AG Home Solutions and Joey Barrow from Annie Mac Mortgage joining us today.
At Tiebreakers, we pride ourselves on serving
big, juicy wings.
I'm talking
big and juicy.
Our chickens are the same ones that kick sand in the other chickens' faces. If our chickens played football, they'd be linebackers. The competition's chickens, they'd be
skinny little kickers.
Trade those kickers in for linebackers.
Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
Hi, this is Brian Meador from East Carolina Athletics. You're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Braun.
Shirley, I saw a new 30 for 30 is coming out soon.
Oh, is there?
Well, I don't know about soon. 30 for 30 is being made about a show that I think we'll be excited about. Now, Chandler claims he has seen this show. Probably saw some repeats. He's a little younger than us.
Okay.
It is a show that ran from 1989 to 1996. It was rebooted by NBC in 2008. It involved regular Joes in an athletic competition against...
Joes versus Pros?
No, but kind of probably a spinoff.
Wait. What were the years again?
89 to 96.
Oh, God. Was it? Oh.
And the people in the show, the athletes were called like Nitro and Blaze.
American Gladiators.
American Gladiators.
I was like, God, I'm trying to remember the name of the show.
30 for 30 on American Gladiators. I'm into this. I'm excited about it.
I'm okay with that, yeah.
I used to love that growing up. I always wanted to play... I always try to like make those games at home with me and my friends, like the one where they shoot tennis balls.
Oh yeah, at each other. Yeah.
The joust was awesome, of course.
Oh, I love the joust.
I've definitely seen
that was my favorite.
The one where you had, and we definitely played this one as kids, and the one where you would they had like these barrels basically, and you had to run and put the basically dunk the balls in, and they would try to crush you.
I remember that.
Like that, I just want to watch the show again now that I'm talking about it. I wonder if it's on YouTube.
Just watching some video right now, they were so much athletes. They were just like jumping, dodging these tennis balls. I remember watching it with my grandfather. So I definitely do remember.
These men and women were roided up to the to the brim.
I mean, they were huge.
And
it's like, how did you not get crushed, especially when you had to joust them?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, how do you not just have one heck of a headache from getting, I mean, because one swing from, I don't remember the guy's name, but there was just one guy that was like beefier than the rest of them. And
I feel like Nitro was the,
it might have been Nitro.
Out in my brain
but I just remember he was massive. And I'm thinking to myself, if there's this little skinny dude going up against, let's say it was Nitro, I mean, you're going to have a headache if he takes a swing at you on a joust thing, and even though you're heavily padded.
I got a full episode from September 26th, 1992.
Wow. And my goodness.
Larry Zonka on the call.
Round matches this week, Larry. Anybody stand out in your mind?
This is so cool. So I'll be watching this the remainder of the day. 20-year-old Shannon Williams. Does she have a chance taking on... Kathy Marshall, the other participant, 26 years old from New York.
Who is a student. Going up against Siren and Diamond and Electra. Oh.
This is great. Powerball. That's the game I was talking about. So, all right, my afternoon is all set. Today's game brought to you by Super Nintendo.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah. Let's just play this the remainder of the show.
Sorry.
We have to get to...
She lost her mic.
I lost my mic.
That's a new event on American Gladiators, taking the mic out of the mic stand.
Yeah.
We got to get to Jason Hamilton, so let's take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk some ECU soccer with the head soccer coach out at East Carolina, ready for the AAC tournament. They got a tough test coming up on Thursday. We'll talk about it when we return on Pirate Radio Live. We are back with you after this.
The area's #1 pool builder for over 40 years is Greenville Pool and Supply. From fiberglass to vinyl to custom concrete, They do it all. And if you already have a pool, make sure your water is clean and safe this swim season with the help of the pros at Greenville Pool. If you bring a water sample to them, they'll test it for you in the store for free. And going on now is the annual water care sale with 20% off all water care products in the entire store. The 20% off sale is going on now until Saturday, April 17th, but only at Greenville Pool and Supply.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
You might know him as Lee D. I know him as Dad.
Troy and his sister both were with us, and they slept. And it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and they had slept on the plane. They had slept on the ride from Baton Rouge. They wanted to go out on Bourbon Street.
Heck yes.
So we go out on Bourbon Street, and the first thing that happens is some drunk comes rolling down the street and lands at Troy's feet. It so upset both the kids that was the end of Bourbon Street for that night.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer. Proudly
time in the shop and mowing your grass. It's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hussey Stamped Decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11, north of the airport in Greenville.
Here today with Ben. Become the best version of themselves. I would highly recommend F3. The workouts are open to everybody, to all men. They're free of charge, and they will improve the quality of...
Or today at f3enc.com.
At Jimmy John's, we don't make sandwiches exactly how you want, because you're the one who's eating it. And we bake bread all day, every day, because stale bread isn't bread. It's of sandwiches. Order pickup or delivery on the app.
University PC Care has been the Pirate Nation's go-to IT expert since 2006. They thank you for your continued support and trust during these trying times. Many services can be done remotely and free pickup and delivery is available. As a Dell business partner and Apple authorized service provider, you can count on University PC Care for all your personal and business tech support needs. To make a remote appointment or to bring in your device for service at their Greenville or New Bern locations, call 558-1280 or go online at universitypccare.com.
Hey, O's fans, the all-new 2021 5-game flex plan is available now at Orioles.com/flex, providing you with the ultimate flexibility to select the games that fit your schedule and priority before the general public to select your games, including popular promo dates like the Jim Palmer bobblehead and Birdland Hawaiian shirt. Starting at just $99, you'll save big over single-game ticket costs, plus all plans are protected by O'Surance. Visit Orioles.com/flex.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all of their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. So if you're looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. They do brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World across from the Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers of Greenville Auto World for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All righty. I'm good for the afternoon. Got some American Gladiators going here in the Pirate Radio studios. Just talked about how there's going to be a 30 for 30 on American Gladiators, so I decided to check YouTube, and sure enough, found a full episode to watch the remainder of today's show. All right, got a lot to talk about as well. Will Bland going to join us in just a little bit as the J.H. Rose Rampants preparing for postseason play. the ECU women's soccer team preparing for postseason play as the Pirates will take on ranked South Florida. The Bulls are 15th in the country. It'll be coming up in the semis of the AAC Women's Soccer Championship, that in Tampa, Florida. Thursday night, you can watch it on ESPN Plus coming up at 7 o'clock. The head coach of the women's soccer team at East Carolina is Jason Hamilton. He joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Coach, welcome back to the show. How you doing today?
I'm doing great, Cliff. Thanks for having me. If there's some background noise, I apologize. We're in the airport on our way to Tampa now, so
okay.
You guys having me call in.
Yeah, we appreciate you joining us here for a few minutes, and congratulations, Coach, on making it, being one of the top 4 in the league this year and able to try to extend your season, try to win on Thursday, and then make it to that championship game coming up on Saturday. First of all, Coach, the craziness of 2021, and you turned that into a success, making it to the AAC tournament. How do you describe what has transpired here over the last couple of months?
Yeah, I think, as last time I was on the show with you guys, like we had a slower start to the season than we wanted, but, that 15 months off with no competing was tough to get back into things. So I think, our team kind of, reset there after a few games, and once we got into the swing of the conference play, we really kind of picked up our game and figured out the things that we need to do to be successful. We were lucky enough to get all 8 games in the conference, which, most of the teams didn't get to play that full slate. So we were happy to get all those games in, and had some good results along the way to put ourselves in a position there this past weekend. We were going to finish between 3rd and 5th, and we kind of had to let those games play out to see where we ended up. So to be back in the top 4 is a good thing for us.
And Shirley, I think you were at one of the big ones, Senior Day, 4-0 against Tulsa. Shirley Rhodes on the PA, and I was over doing baseball. We were following along that game during the baseball game, and a huge result there to win 4-0 over Tulsa. And now, once again, you got South Florida coming up, Coach. Earlier this year, a 1-0 decision to South Florida. They were able to win here in Greenville, but you hung right with them. So what kind of team will you be facing coming up on Thursday night?
Yeah, they're a very, very good team. I think they lead the country in completed passes per game. They're just the style they like to play, to have the ball and move the ball around. I think our group did a really good job against them last time, trying to press them high up the field and create opportunities off the press. And we did a good job, and we had a few opportunities early in that game, a couple shots, a couple corners that we just didn't take advantage of. And so I think it's a good matchup for us. We know who we are, we know what we need to do, and they're kind of committed to that style, and we want that to kind of hurt them in this game. So we just have to be ready to come out and make it difficult for them, and then be efficient in front of the goal with good chances.
Coach, I know former DH Conley Viking Maeve English has received quite a bit of accolades this year in net. Who else has really stood out for your team and allowed you to get to this position?
Yeah, absolutely. Maeve's done a great job in goal for us, keeping us in games. It's been recognized by the conference quite a few times. Carson Park is another one who, she's been a center back for most of her career, and we threw her up top as forward here for most of the season to help us create some attacking opportunities. And so she's one who's had a good kind of stretch here for us over the last 4 or 5 games and produced for us. And another one, Kim Stanford, who's been our center back there. And without Carson back there, she's definitely made sure to keep things in line and keep us organized. And so those two have been great for us. And just really, we're at that point in the season where we just need everybody to be big. We're going to use 15 to 18 players. It's going to be a game where we got to have a lot of energy, and so I think the team's in a really good place, and they're excited to be back in the tournament after a year off.
Jason Hamilton joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. It'll be ECU taking on South Florida coming up on Thursday, and once again 7 o'clock. You can watch it on ESPN Plus coming up on a Thursday night. And Coach, what does your team need to do to pull off this win and to advance to the championship?
I think the big thing is just believe in themselves. No one had us slated to be in the top 4 and be in this tournament this year. I think we surprised a lot of people. Picked to be 7th in the conference. I think as a group we were kind of wondering, how we were going to fill some holes with people that we lost due to graduation and the season being pushed to the spring. But we're here, and they need to believe in why we're here. And I think that's going to be the big thing. Come out and forget about what happened before, forget about what South Florida has done so far this year, forget about their ranking, and it's one game, roll the ball out there, and the team that wants it more is going to win, and we can get through that one, we'll be on to the finals.
Well, Coach, we'll let you hop on the plane and head down there to Tampa, Florida to get ready for the semifinals. AAC Championships going on in Tampa. The Pirates taking on the Bulls coming up Thursday night. Thank you for a few minutes of your time. Good luck. We'll be following along, and we wish you the best.
Appreciate it, Cliff. Thanks so much.
Thank you. There's the Hammer, Jason Hamilton, joining us today on the Fixed NC Live line. I knew he had a short window of time. I didn't know why. It's because he's about to hop on a plane and head down there. Let's bring back some Jason or Hamilton trivia for Shirley and Chandler. This is kind of impromptu.
Okay, let's do this.
I've got one. I need to think of another. But Shirley, we'll go to you first. This Saturday Night Live alum stars in the popular show Ted Lasso.
Jason Sudeikis.
That is correct. Well done. Chandler, your question is, he is Aquaman.
Jason Samoa. What is this like? Samoa? Jason what?
Jason Samoa. It's not like Samoa Joe, the wrestler.
It's Jason Momoa.
Oh.
Jason Samoa.
I love you, Chandler. I swear.
Jason Momoa is his name?
Yeah.
Yes, that's his name. Jason Momoa.
I thought it was Samoa.
Jason Mimosa. Jason Samoa. I'm so glad we played this today.
Oh, my goodness.
I don't have any more questions, but I want to ask Chandler another one now.
Go ahead.
That was fun. Oh, this actor, well, Shirley knows this one because he was in a show in the 80s, but he is one of my favorite actors from Arrested Development and Ozark. Do you know who the lead actor in that series is?
Can you name the 80s?
Can I?
Yeah, can you tell me the 80s?
This is for Chandler.
Oh, okay.
And then if he doesn't know, I'll tell you.
Repeat the question again.
All right, he is in Arrested Development, Ozark, was also in a 80s show. I want to say, Shirley, it was the Hogan Family.
Oh, I know the answer.
That you don't watch Ozark or Arrested Development? Oh, man, you got to watch both of those. Got to. Shirley.
I have a big dog staring at me.
So now you're like nervous?
Yes. The reason why I asked
Jason Samoa?
Yeah. The reason why I asked you to repeat the question is because I was making sure I wouldn't get killed by the big dog.
All right, Shirley, who is this?
Jason Bateman.
One of my favorite actors, Jason Bateman.
Yeah.
And I really do recommend both of those programs that I said. And Shirley, I do remember watching Hogan Family when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. There was an episode where he went up to the attic and was flicking around an old lamp.
Yeah.
And it caught the house on fire, and it creeped me out as a kid. I would never mess around with lamps for the next 2 months. Cool, neat story.
Yep, cool, neat story.
Chandler, this football player blew off his fingers with fireworks.
Jason Pierre-Paul.
Hey!
Jason Payoud.
Well done, and that is how we play Jason or Hamilton.
Have we decided whether we were going to do a music Zoom trivia at one? Did we ever decide we were going to do that?
We're
between me and
or
you.
are we still working on that?
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay,
we'll do it
because I did. I did nail the 2 songs today.
We could do that.
Yeah.
That you did.
I had to redeem myself because I was angry because I missed one yesterday. I was really mad about it.
I was killing it in there was a category dealing with universities. It was like the states where
the most
D1 college and universities are.
Yeah.
I probably named off 8 to 10 out of the 23.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Chandler knows his states.
And I know my music.
Thank goodness.
So.
All right, I'm going to pull up today's and during the break, Chandler, see how you do with the music category. Let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Will Bland is the head football coach out at J.H. Rose. He's got his team in the playoffs, hosting a game on Friday. We'll talk about his season and the game coming up against Lee County when we return on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
during Bostic Sugg Furniture's Spring Styles event. Freshen things up, make a statement, and make it exciting. Save on new looks, new colors, new styles. We have so many beautiful ways to update your home. Explore our 35,000 square foot showroom. From name brands like Bassett, La-Z-Boy, Rowe, Kincaid, and Restonic, get up to 15% off plus 6 months special financing, or get special financing for 48 months. Step up your style right now at Bostic Sugg Furniture.
You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. That's when it's most important to have a community bank and a local banker in your corner. This is Eric Clark from Select Bank and Trust. Our team of local bankers care about you, our customer, and the communities in which we all live and serve together. As the business and economic conditions of 2020 threw you many curveballs, our team at Select Bank and Trust remains steadfast in being responsive to your ever-changing needs. In 2021, choose Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
The best place in Greenville to unwind after work and have fun is AJ McMurphy's. AJ's has daily food and drink specials and an awesome patio perfect for some outdoor dining. Stop by AJ's on Monday for open mic, music on the patio on Tuesday, sports trivia with me, Clip Brock, on Wednesdays, and music bingo on Thursday. AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is proud ECU graduate and former baseball player Brandon Manning inviting you to join my team at Farm Bureau Insurance. Right now is a good time to review your coverage with a local trusted agent like me. I will make myself available before or after business hours, and my clients always have my cell phone number if they need anything. From home, auto, or life, give me a call today and let's talk about your insurance coverage and about the Pirates. Call 531-1812 and go Pirates!
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
This is ECU head baseball coach Cliff Godwin, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. For the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner, be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media, on Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM, on Twitter at FreePR927FM. Join the close to 50,000 followers today at PR927FM. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt, intern Tully here, the big dog here, making his presence felt the previous segment.
In the house.
And Will Bland is here joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. How about the Rose Rampants this year, piling up the points, also playing great defense. Really only had one close game all year. It was against South Central and dominated the competition outside of that, and they will try to continue to do that on into the playoffs. Let's talk about it with the head coach of the Rampants. He is former ECU wide receiver. He is Will Bland joining us on the Fixed NC Live line here on a Tuesday. Coach, thanks for your time. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Will, appreciate your time as always. And I thought about this when I reached out to you to get you on this week. I talked to you last summer and kind of went around the county and talked to coaches because we didn't know if you guys were going to play football in the fall of 2020 or if it was going to be moved to the spring. Of course, it was moved to spring 2021. But I remember talking to you at that time, kind of leading up to the 2020 season, which never happened. But you were very confident about the guys on your team. You said you had an ace up your sleeve when it came to hiring assistant coaches, and that news had not come out yet, and you kind of hinted at that. You were very confident about the team you were going to put on the field. We sit here, Will, now almost a year later, and look at what you did during the spring and the undefeated season and all the points you put up, all the great defensive games you had. Did it go the way you thought it was going to go, Will? You were super confident last year, and, man, you guys were awesome this year. Did it go like you think it was going to go?
I thought it went pretty good. You know, the ace was Coach King, and I knew what he brought to the table as the offensive coach and also as the defensive coach also. I knew that he would put up a lot of points with some of the athletes that we had on the side of the ball and stuff. And then with Coach Levin on defense, it's just a remarkable change how our defense looked at each game as we want to make sure we keep everybody under 20 points, because we can keep teams under 20 points, and most likely we win that game with our offense. So I'm very pleased with it. The guys bought in. They trust me. They went out there and they played for me, so I couldn't be more proud of the guys.
Will, a lot of blowouts on the schedule this year for J.H. Rose, but you also had that tight one with South Central. How important was that to have a tight game like that, to give your players a sense of how to win a close ball game? Because you might have to do that in this playoff run you're about to go on.
Correct. I mean, I thought that was, as far as the fan standpoint, I know we had a lot of fans that were disappointed in the way that we performed, but in actuality, that kind of helps us out a little bit, because we got to be able to perform under pressure. I think we're down for the first time this year against South Central, and the way the guys responded, got the ball, responded back, and then took a 2-touchdown lead was big. So that South Central game, I thought, it really helped us out a lot to give us some of that playoff atmosphere that we needed so much. So I think the guys are prepared. They know what to expect from the playoff, that every game will be a tough game. Everybody's trying to knock off us because we're undefeated, and we put up a lot of points. So, trying to score on that defense. So I thought that was really good for us, and that's only just helped us. It's going to help us for this upcoming Friday.
Talking to Will Bland, head football coach at J.H. Rose. As you know, Will, the game is suited for the offense, especially college, NFL. The rules are made so teams can score points and move the football up and down the field. With that being said, how did you get your guys to buy into the defensive side of the ball and have such a great year on that side of the ball, playing solid defense at J.H. Rose?
Well, the first thing we had to get some of the guys that play offense, like one of the big guys we got out there was Kevin Hamilton, being able to stand in the middle of the field, blitz and stuff. Some of the other guys like KD, like Clayvon, being able to do both ways. We had to get them guys on the field, have our best 11 on the field at one time. And then we told them at the beginning of the season, guys, for the last couple of years, we've been in the laughing stock. I mean, Rose are pretty good, and they knew about the offense, but they knew that they were going to score on the defense. And I think the guys just took that and ran with it. It's like, look, we're tired of being that team that everybody knows they're going to make a highlight reel of. And then they just went out there and they performed, and they did a great year. I think we held teams under 14 points most of the time. I know South Central, we gave up 26, but you remember that one of them touchdown with a pick 6 on offense, so we're still going to say they kept teams under 20.
Will, and you've done this too without some of your main weapons playing in every game. So how are you health-wise heading into this playoff matchup coming up Friday night with your studs like Michael Allen and Kevin Hamilton? How are you doing health-wise overall with the team?
I think that, the health of the team is pretty good. Mike Allen's still day by day, just seeing where he's at. But, we have some other guys, other role players that stepped up in his absence. And, Kevin Hamilton is still, he's good. He had a high ankle sprain, which made him miss one game, but he's healthy. So everybody on the team is pretty healthy right now. So.
Will, what about the schedule, rest versus rust? It allowed you to get last week off, get healthy, and rest up for this playoff game. Is that a good thing? Would you rather have played last week? How about that as you head into this Friday?
I thought it was a good thing for us because we was able to get some of the kids that was banged up a little bit, give them a little rest. I think we gave them Monday off, and we practiced for 3 days. They were real light on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and gave them off Friday and Saturday. So I thought that helped us out a lot. And then I couldn't be more proud of the guys yesterday practice. We normally start practice at 3:30, but I think everybody was out there ready to go at 3 o'clock. So I think the team has decided. I think they know what's at stake. I think they're ready to get out there and put something on for the Pitt County faithfuls.
Will, I know you're focused on this Friday and this playoff run, but, man, it's a quick turnaround going from spring 2021 to your fall season coming up in a few months. And talking to other coaches around the area, I know Nate Connor told me that for his seniors, he wanted to have the best possible season this year. But for the younger guys, it was almost like a spring football for them, kind of preparing them for this fall. Did you kind of have the same outlook on it there at J.H. Rose? You want to win every game, but also you're kind of preparing the young guys for what's going to happen later on this calendar year.
Yeah, I agree. And the big thing about us making it to the playoff, we was able to bring some of them JV guys. I think we brought 16 to have a more extended fall. So we got them guys out there working with the varsity kids so they can get extra practices. And the tough thing I think is going to be able to having to get the kids that didn't play, the 8th graders that didn't play this year, have to get them back in shape and then try to find out where they're at so we can get them out here this upcoming summer. So that's a big challenge. I'm trying to get some stuff correlated with the middle schools and stuff so I can get calendars and stuff over to them. But I think they'll be ready to play because, they missed out on the whole year, and I think a lot of them kids are ready to go.
Will Bland joining us. Will, what do you know about your opponent you'll be facing this Friday?
Lee County, they're big. They're big guys. They got 2 big running backs that also plays linebacker for them. So I think we got to be able to, I think we're a little quicker than they are. So I think we need to be able to move the ball, run the ball a little bit, get them tired and stuff. On offense, they got a quarterback. They run spread, and they got a quarterback that can throw the ball. So we built on defense to put pressure on the quarterback. So I think if we can get some pressure on that quarterback, then we'll be able to disrupt their offensive flow in this game. So just want to be able to do what we do. Go up tempo and move the ball, get some points on the board, and hold opponents to under 20 points.
Coach Will Bland joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. Coach, as we sit here on a Tuesday afternoon, what is the ticket situation? Are there still tickets available? And if so, how can people get tickets to this game?
Tickets are available. We're still doing selling tickets at the gate. We also started selling tickets out of school. So if they come between 9 and between 9 and 1 every day until Friday, they can get tickets at the school. And we love to have everybody at Pitt County attend this game because not only are we playing for Rose, but we're Pitt County. I think this is a great county. I think everybody supports. So we want to make sure everybody get a chance to come out there and see what we can do because not only are we representing Rose, but we also represent this county, just like Farmville representing this county in basketball. So we want to try to bring one back home for Pitt County.
And, Coach, it's not what you want, 100% capacity, but how much different is it, from the beginning of the season when you could barely get anybody in there to now where you can hear a crowd? How much does that energize you and the guys on the sidelines?
Oh, it energizes them much. I mean, they love the student section. Our student section does a great job of making sure the team is hyped up. Being able to see the fans and cheering the guys on as we make this transition back to having our fans here has been a blessing. So I'm glad that we was able to get back up to 50%. But, we still got to do our part and make sure we social distance and make sure we wear masks so we can try to get it back to 100% capacity.
Well, it's been a strange year for everybody, Will, but to be in the spot you're in is pretty awesome. Says a lot about you, the work you put in, and a lot about your players and staff as well. When you're not looking back on it yet because you still got games to go, but I asked another coach this: do you feel a sense of accomplishment just to kind of get this season in and get to the playoffs? Because I'm sure there were times where you were like, man, is this thing really going to work? Are we really going to get through this season? So what's that feeling like to be able to get these games in and to have as close as normal to a season as you possibly could?
Oh, I thought it was great. I mean, like you said, at one point in time, you're like, all right, we didn't know if we were going to get through it. Were we going to be able to play all 7 games, or were we going to only play 4? And just the fact that how the kids had to make sure, hey, guys, it's also on you. You got to make sure you stay in your bubble. You got to make sure you're not around people that you're not supposed to be around, because, if you get the COVID, then that affect everybody on the team. And they did an outstanding job at making sure that they was around who they needed to be. We separated our JV team and our varsity so at least one of the teams always play. So I think with us being able to play all these games and the state being able to allow was a blessing. It helped these seniors out because, allowed them to know what's going to go on. So I think that helped them out to help them get into college if they were pursuing that. So I thought the state did a great job, and now we just got to finish up with these last 4 weeks.
Will Bland, we're happy for the former Pirate, Will. We're rooting for you, man. Good luck to you and the Rampants coming up this weekend, and we'll talk to you again soon, Will. Thanks for joining us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on all the time, man. Go Rampants.
All right, Will Bland. Remember him as an ECU wide receiver. Now you know him as the head football coach of the J.H. Rose Rampants, and what a year they have had trying to extend their season coming up this Friday against Lee County. All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joins us. We got the latest on ECU baseball. What is the situation with the Houston series and COVID issues there with the Cougars? If that series is not a go, does ECU have other options to play baseball this weekend? We'll talk about that, Pirate football, and more when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. Back with you after this.
Studio with Dr. Shondell Jones from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Dr. Jones, you guys are expanding and growing.
Yeah, we sure are. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that we actually have a pediatric practice as well. It's called Kinetic Pediatric Therapy. We've got speech, physical, and occupational therapy there just for kids. If you're concerned about your child's development or just want to make sure they're on track, you can bring them in for a screen. If they need evaluation, we're able to do that and help them continue to develop. For more information, you can visit us at kptkids.com or give us a call, 689-6043.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
Anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those, but anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available, from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online ateshempcompany.com.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
Every team knows that the 2-point play can be a winning move. That's why I'm here. State Farm agent Timothy Sawyer and my team are here to help you go for 2 by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call that saves you time and money. So go for the win and score some savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way we're here to help life go right. Call me, Timothy Sawyer, at 493-0002 today.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. Wait till I tell you about this coaching giant from yesteryear. It's hard to believe. Coming up next.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
John Gilbert, ECU Athletic Director.
For the immediate future, there are really 3 things I'm kind of focusing on. 1 is stabilizing our budget. 2, competitive excellence. We need to win. And then the third piece would be our student-athlete life.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
With the NCAA basketball tournament in Indiana, one of the venues has been Hinkle Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. The iconic building is named after Tony Hinkle, who coached at Butler, and man, did he ever coach at Butler. He won 560 games as the basketball coach, 183 games as the football coach, and 335 games as the baseball coach. Coach Hinkle started his career at Butler in 1926 and retired in 1970. He introduced the orange basketball in the late 50s. He also developed the Hinkle system, an offense based on motion passes and screens that was adopted by over 200 college coaches. The Logansport, Indiana native is in the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, and the Indiana Football Hall of Fame. So the next time you hear about Hinkle Fieldhouse, think about the man for whom the building is named after. Come on back again next time and we'll visit inside the booth.
Pirate Radio.
I'll give you Blackbeard's honest opinion. You ask me, can this new captain promise you a life of prizes, plunder, and adventure? Aye.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Hey, a new episode of the Pirate Radio Podcast is now available in our Apple Podcast channel and SoundCloud archive. The Pirate Radio Podcast brought to you by White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Visit whiteclaw.com today. White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly. The new podcast features the voice, Jeff Charles, going one-on-one with ECU Baseball Hall of Famer Pat Watkins. You can listen to this podcast now by visiting our podcast channel, or you can tune in tonight at 6 o'clock on 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1 FM in Washington, and PR927FM.com. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
We will play a little tease of that coming up later on in the show. Pat Watkins with the voice, Jeff Charles. We got Stephen Igoe joining us now inside the Pirate Radio studios. The homeless dressing blonde kid rocking a sweet Hoist the Colors shirt.
That is nice.
It's coming, guys.
So, how'd you get your shirt already?
I've had my shirt.
I've
worn it in here before, which is why you guys asked me, when am I getting...
So you have a shirt, your unborn child has a shirt.
Yes.
And us here, living and breathing.
Jonathan just gave me a shirt.
How many shirts do you have?
How many shirts?
Yeah.
Well, he is homeless, so we were...
Yeah, I mean, I need as many shirts. I can't even wash them, so I just rewear them.
I wear more free shirts than purchase shirts at this point in my life.
Mine's probably the same way, thanks to Pirate Radio.
Yeah. Okay, so Shirley has the...
Take Me to the Jungle
That's
t-shirt.
a free shirt, courtesy of UBE.
Yep.
Because they weren't allowed to sell them. I have one of those.
Yep.
So that's a rare one. I love that. Chandler has a free University Sportswear shirt that he's rocking. Igoe had to pay for his Hoist the Color shirt.
I pay for my own shirt.
That stinks. And I'm wearing the Pirate Radio shirt.
That you got for free.
Pirate Voice of the Pirate Nation.
51st State shirt.
We don't pay for shirts, folks. That's for suckers.
Why do you think we got into this business?
Yeah, free
swag
for free and gift cards. We're watching American Gladiators.
Why?
What do you mean? Why?
What is this?
Don't come in here with this negativity.
Have you never watched American Gladiators?
I have, but it was in better definition than this. This is
did you watch the reboot?
Probably so.
The old school. This is the best. We've already had a guy get mad at the refs.
Wow, Shirley versus Sonya.
Shirley's winning right now.
Shirley is winning over Sonya.
Not a lot of people know this clip, but Shirley actually participated in American Gladiators.
Zap.
It was a little side gig when she was at Barton.
I want to watch one of these and just randomly see Jeff Charles or Mike Houston appearing.
Jeff Charles is up there going like this.
Doing the Undertaker cutthroat.
Take that.
Dang, these people are getting after it.
Exactly. See how he goes into it now.
It's physical.
It is a physical competition. They're competing. All right, Steven, where to begin?
Oh my gosh.
We're here to compete.
Now I'm going to have to cut it off because I goes too into it.
Shirley just got her tail whooped.
No, see, that's Sonya taking on Zap. Shirley goes next against.
So why did they?
Wait, is this the joust or is this something else?
They're grabbing one end. See, this is Shirley taking.
Well, then
on.
why did they put Sonya score next to Shirley after that?
Because they're competing.
But they're not going against each other.
All right, so today's matchup is Clip versus Igoe, but we're not facing each other. We're facing the Gladiators.
These sound like Power Ranger names. Nitro, Zap.
I tell you what.
Oh, this is kind of like a tug of war type.
You kids, y'all are too cool for this. Okay, what do y'all watch? SpongeBob?
Scooby-Doo?
What is your I've been sitting here enjoying the show with you.
You just said their names sound like Power Rangers.
Okay, that's not downing them. I love Power Rangers.
I love Power Rangers. Igoe, what was your favorite shows as a kid? So this was when I was probably 10 years old.
Not this.
When you were 10, what were you watching on TV other than sports?
10?
Yeah.
Rocket Power, I think is what it was called on Nickelodeon. I watched SpongeBob for sure, but I was more of a Nick at Night guy. Three's Company.
That's right. You like the old shows.
Three's Company, Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
Chandler's an old soul too.
Yeah.
I like Nick at Night, but they were different shows when they kept You Can't Do That on Television was one of my favorite shows of all time. I mean, it was such a great show.
Nick at Night was also like Roseanne, right?
That's pretty risky.
That's when I stopped watching Nick at Night.
Yeah, that's a little. Yeah.
Good news, Igoe. Redbeard says on Pluto TV you can watch American Gladiators all day, every day. It has its own channel.
Don't watch Pluto TV. I don't even know what Pluto TV is.
It is actually a free television channel you can get on you can download it on Roku.
Yeah, we can watch it right now.
So they have nothing better to show other than
that. It's a weird deal.
It doesn't cost them anything, I don't think, to download some of those shows.
Where they have channels just dedicated to one show that they show 24 hours a day. It's kind of strange, and you can really lose all. But once in
a while, you can flip over to Pluto TV and find an old movie that you haven't seen in forever and a day. They've got an old 80s movies. I think they call it 80s classics or something like that, but they show old 80s movies, and some of them are the real obscure 80s movies that you can't find anywhere. And every once in a while I'll flip over there and catch something that I like to watch.
Have you canceled Peacock yet?
Not officially, but I'm going to.
I'm
not going to watch WrestleMania Backlash, the lamest pay-per-view name I've ever heard in my life.
Igoe's mad because Edge lost the other night.
I'm mad because of that, but I'm also mad because WWE is just so stupid sometimes, man. You've had the pay-per-view Backlash, which is a pretty cool pay-per-view name for how many years now? And
you're mad that they're calling it WrestleMania Backlash?
Yeah, do you think your fans are that stupid to where, hey, let's just...
We're talking about wrestling fans.
True.
We are that stupid.
We have to put the name WrestleMania in front of Backlash.
The big dog's coming in for a run-in.
And I can't wait for...
It's the big dog!
Can't wait for WrestleMania Money in the Bank.
We act like...
And then WrestleMania Royal Rumble. I mean, it's so stupid.
Glenn, does Igoe have a legit gripe?
Yep.
He does?
100%, because I feel like what's going to happen is that the three pay-per-views in between the four big ones every time are just going to be iterations of the name.
Yeah.
Like you've got
SummerSlam in a cell.
Like you've got, well, like the one between the Rumble and Mania,
Fastlane
will become the fast lane to WrestleMania, and then you'll have WrestleMania Backlash. And then you'll have
So lame.
WrestleMania in the bank.
Yeah.
SummerSlam in the bank, whatever.
Yeah.
What have you. You know, I understand it from branding purposes, but after spending some time away from that company and coming back to it, woo, buddy.
It's
they got problems.
Have you tried AEW?
I have not. I'm hoping once Edge's 3-year contract is up with WWE, he goes to AEW, so I have a reason to watch it.
I like it.
I could see that
Christian's
happening.
over there. You know?
Yeah.
Sure. Hey, everybody over there seems happy, and there's no real bad creative decisions. It doesn't hurt to watch the product.
Right. Yeah, WrestleMania was not entertaining for me.
Night 1 was good.
Night 1 was good.
The women's championship match was my favorite match that I watched with Sasha Banks and Belair.
Belair, yeah. The Night 1 delivered. Everything was pretty watchable. It was all matches were sub 15 minutes. And
Night 2 just got off to a bad start.
Night 2 was. I just felt like sometime between Night 1 and Night 2, Vince took that script and he just changed things. Walking out of WrestleMania, there are 9 belts on the main roster, which is absurd. 9 belts.
That is, yeah.
Out of those 9, 8 are held by bad guys.
That's wild.
Sending your people home happy. Sending your fans home happy. At the biggest show of the year, your return show, the first show you've had in front of fans in over a year.
How many WrestleManias can end with Roman Reigns getting booed?
I tell you what, man.
But he's the guy now, though.
I get the Roman Reigns thing now. Like, I respect it. I was mad because Edge didn't win.
But I get it.
I have watched so many WrestleManias where Roman Reigns is winning the belt in the main event, and like the crowd just is not into it, man. Like at some point, you got to get the crowd hype to close out Mania. I know they did it with Daniel Bryan 7 years ago, but
like you said, the first fan event too.
They would have popped so hard for Edge, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you maybe should have if that was the finish and they knew that was going to be the finish, they should have rotated main events for Night 1 and Night 2.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You should have gone out with the weekend on a high point with Belair winning the title.
All right, we're acting as if we don't have a lot of ECU stuff to talk about.
There hasn't been like
but we do.
10 million breaking news stories in the past 4 hours.
All right, Glenn, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
we'll
man.
get back to Igoe.
WrestleMania Backlash, still the worst thing I've ever heard.
My point was I've not canceled Peacock yet. I'm going to try to watch as much as Yellowstone I can before I cancel, which it's a pretty good show. I'm on like episode 4 or 5 right now. All right, Steven, what are you hearing about the ECU Houston series?
Nothing official yet. I just heard earlier today, checking with some people, that the COVID issues are on Houston's end, and that ECU is trying to, figure it out. They're going to go to Houston or schedule someone else. I know that Cliff Godwin, he's always going to be working on a backup plan. So it looks like from a potential, my point of view on this is, I think if Houston has any COVID issues, they're going to try their best to not play the series. I mean, I just don't. I think if you're an American team, do you really want to take on East Carolina right now, especially if you're struggling? So, again, we'll see. I'm sure the conference has rules on you have to be a certain amount under the limit, but who's going to actually go in there and verify all that stuff? Either way, I'll be surprised if they end up playing Houston. I hope they do so they can get all their conference games in, but
yeah.
You would have to imagine, if not, Creighton is a possibility if they're willing to spend the money to travel there, or Creighton come here. But I would think ECU would go on the road because they need to play on the road. Creighton was supposed to host the weekend series, so I don't know. Then there's also the possibility of a local school. I think High Point is available this weekend, but they're like 220 in the RPI, so you don't gain anything by playing them. You'd be better off not even playing anybody.
I was really looking forward to a weekend off. And not going to Clark LeClaire. Now that could happen. As by the way, these guys are absolutely going at it on American Gladiators. So you think it is a possibility? I was going to ask you too, the local team. So you mentioned High Point, but Creighton, their series with UConn will not be played. So the Pirates, you think Cliff Godwin would take his team to Omaha if the timing's right? If they get enough notice in?
Yeah, if you can get this, I'm sure it's not. I've looked into flights to Omaha before, and it's pretty expensive, so I'm sure it's not cheap, but you're already going to travel to Houston. I don't know how much they can get reimbursed for that stuff, but if you can afford it, if it's not too much, it honestly makes a lot of sense for ECU because Creighton is 47 in the RPI or something like that. If you go on the road and take 2 or 3, that's a
that'd be
quality
huge.
series win. So you would also get to play at TD Ameritrade Park, which is where the College World Series is held. So, I mean, ECU fans can finally say they've been to Omaha.
Could be a good omen. Like, look, guys, we're here right now. We're going to win this weekend, and then we're coming back here.
It's a shame UConn has the COVID possibilities, or else we could see UConn ECU square off. But
how are they this year?
They're good. Them and Creighton and St. John's are kind of the better teams in the Big East. So,
and we could have seen St. John's, but we didn't.
So, I would think by tomorrow they have to make a decision. I mean, you're
because they're traveling tomorrow to Houston if they're playing.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow. No, Thursday. Today's Tuesday. Morning. You're right. So make a decision tomorrow. Travel on Thursday. Play on Friday. Regardless of who the opponent is, or they could get a team here. So to your point, though, I go on High Point. Just getting games in for the sake of getting games in, it might not be worth it.
I don't think it is with High Point. No, I mean, even if you beat them, your RPI is going to go down. I mean, they played Memphis 3 games this past weekend. Memphis was 100 in the RPI, and just by playing Memphis, they actually lost RPI points. So if you're 220 in the RPI, you definitely don't want to be playing those games at home because you're going to get penalized even more. So I don't know. I think you'd be better off not playing.
Yeah, how much does that help or hurt ECU, you think, if they sit out a weekend as far as rankings, all that stuff?
I think they just stay stationary.
Yeah.
I think it's RPI, what your opponents do would be affected, but you're not going to move but so much other than the teams around you doing good. But it's not like you gain, I think, a cumulative amount of points. Like if you beat High Point, you're just losing RPI points, technically, if you look at the formula.
As crazy as it sounds, your wins can hurt you in that case.
Yeah, so, I mean, they're just not – if they were in the 100s RPI-wise, it would make sense, but they're not a good team. It just doesn't do any good to really play that series.
Igoe, what'd you think of the return of Lane Hoover to the Pirate lineup?
It was great to see him back. I mean, it was just an awesome moment kind of being – I was in the stands for I almost said on the field – but I was in the stands for when he took his first at bat because I was taking pictures, and it was just great. It was not a huge crowd, but they understood the moment, gave him a big ovation, and that was cool to kind of soak in because, Pirate Nation is very knowledgeable, especially when it comes to baseball. They know how much Lane Hoover means. They know the injury he went through. They read about the surgery, so it was just cool to see him back. I mean, for him to get a hit in his first at bat was awesome. Had a huge impact in the first game. Made some plays the rest of the games. Didn't really have a huge day or weekend at the plate after the first game. But, I mean, just having him back extends the lineup so much.
And we had talked about the mental side of it. And, you can get over the physical side maybe quicker than the mental side of returning from an injury like that. I'll just say from the outside looking in, he didn't seem like nervous or shy or scared at all. I don't know how he felt internally, but it really didn't look like he missed a beat to me.
No, I mean, just watching it live, his first at bat, he didn't seem intimidated or off at all. I mean, that's the biggest thing is in baseball when you miss a month or so to go from just sitting out, barely being able to eat for a while, then to go and face live pitching and perform the way he did was extremely impressive. So I'm sure he took BP or whatnot a certain amount of days leading up to the game, but it's still not the same as going out and facing live pitching. And, good to see him wearing the hockey mask in right field so we don't see a repeat of that incident, and obviously some protection at the plate as well, but just really glad he's back.
Great weekend of baseball for the Pirates. Igoe, as crazy as it is, we didn't think we'd see many of these 4-game sweeps. 2 weeks into the season, already 3 have occurred. 2 by East Carolina, 1 by Wichita State. And Igoe, I had said earlier, there's a pretty good chance. In fact, I almost said 100% chance ECU would not face a ranked opponent the rest of the way. Could Wichita State be a ranked opponent when they take on ECU later this year?
Well, they are ranked according to Collegiate Baseball, number 28.
Oh, that's the one that goes beyond 25.
Stupid poll.
Yeah.
But I've, looking at the other polls, I don't think they were heavily considered, but they have 2 more weekends, I believe, before ECU. So if they go out and win 2 out of 3, both those weekends, or 3 out of 4, I think they very well could be ranked, and their RPI is shooting up. They were like number 60 or 70 a couple weeks ago, and now I think they're in the 40s. So it's good for the league. ECU really needs them to have a good run and to put themselves in the position of making the tournament. I mean, if you're just a one-bid league, it becomes that much tougher to get, a national seed and a regional host type of deal because everybody looks at your league and it's like, well, they just beat up on a bunch of weak teams.
Pirates are getting help from some unlikely places, including Charlotte, right?
Yeah, Charlotte has really had a nice season. And, watching them live, it was clear they were a much better team. I didn't think they were this good to go out and sweep a bunch of 4-game series in Conference USA. But, they've done a heck of a job there. The former UNC pitching coach, I believe, has taken over and has built it pretty quickly, brought in a lot of transfers. They've got a ton of good arms, some power. So, yeah, they're a dangerous team. I mean, if they come to ECU in a regional or whatnot, then, they're certainly capable of winning.
It appears we're not getting much help from North Carolina and Duke at the moment, especially Duke. 13 and 15 overall, 6 and 12 in league play.
Yeah,
of course, they started playing conference games pretty early.
Yeah, Duke has had a down year. I won't say a bad year because I still think they're a quality team. The ACC this year is pretty loaded. Like, the problem with the ACC is there's no real elite team. Notre Dame right now is kind of running away with the potential regional host. I mean, it's so early in the year; it's tough to talk about this stuff. But Link Jarrett,
I was just Googling. So Link Jarrett's the head coach.
He is the head coach.
Wow,
and he has done a heck of a job there in a short amount of time. So they're in discussion for a regional host spot at the midway point, and we'll see if they can keep it up. I'm not convinced on their staying power. Like Louisville, to me, they probably are going to be there. Virginia Tech, I'm also not sold of. I think a lot of those teams are going to beat each other up.
Coastal, North Carolina could still win that.
Yeah, Georgia Tech also capable.
And then in the Atlantic, Louisville and
NC State started 1-8, but they've since won, I think, 7 of 9.
Okay.
They played a brutal schedule early.
And just a weekly update on this, Igoe. I guess the bid has been sent by East Carolina to host a regional and super regional.
Yes, they have submitted a bid.
And they are in fantastic shape. In fact, I made the point yesterday that not only could this timeline moving up help ECU, I think if it was moved up even earlier, it would be a benefit for ECU. The sooner the better, right? Because the Pirates are in a spot right now where they could be a top 8 seed.
Yeah, I think so, for sure. I mean, as we talked about the conference being down, you kind of worry about how – because ECU is not going to go 4-0 every week. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So, depending on what happens with this Houston series, it wouldn't be a bad thing to schedule a strong opponent this non-conference weekend. I believe per the AAC policy, if you lose a conference series on the weekend, you are allowed to schedule outside of the conference on short notice. So, we'll see what happens. Again, I would expect the decision in the next 24 hours or so based upon Houston's testing and that sort of stuff. But they were out there. I drove by to football practice. Baseball, pitchers were throwing bullpens, that sort of stuff for ECU. So,
Steve and Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joining us. We got some pictures and video up on our social media accounts from ECU football practice going on. What time do you need to leave, Igoe?
Probably like 5:30.
All right, let's take a timeout. We'll come back, a couple more segments to go with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors. We'll talk some Pirate hoops, Pirate football, and more when we return after this.
The area's #1 pool builder for over 40 years is Greenville Pool and Supply. From fiberglass to vinyl to custom concrete, they do it all. And if you already have a pool, make sure your water is clean and safe this swim season with the help of the pros at Greenville Pool. If you bring a water sample to them, they'll test it for you in the store for free. And going on now is the annual water care sale with 20% off all water care products in the entire store. The 20% off sale is going on now until Saturday, April 17th, but only at Greenville Pool and Supply.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Coach Rick Smith. I was a high school coach for 10 years. I love high school kids. And the kid just he didn't have a father. Right.
His mother worked 2 jobs to try to make ends meet. And he was a great kid. She was a great girl, his mother. And I knew where his head coach wanted him to go. And
do you think Linville Joseph was your biggest and best prize recruit you ever landed at any school you were at?
Probably.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
With Domino's Carside Delivery, you can carry out any 3-topping pizza for just $7.99 without leaving your car. So you don't have to interrupt your kid's favorite song.
And we'll all be friends just for one day.
You can interrupt this, actually.
Next time you carry out 3-topping pizzas for $7.99 each, try Domino's Carside Delivery. Just pull up to the store, check in online, and Domino's will bring your food to you contact-free. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size. Message and data rates may apply when using Domino's Carside Delivery.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
Find yourself working from home or at least spending more time there? Want some remodeling for your house or a fresh look? How about a new deck or screened-in porch to add livable space outside? Don't know who to call? Well, you do now. Call the professionals at R&R Remodeling. They've been serving the local community for 15 years. Ronnie and his crew can help you today. Call for a free quote, 252-286-4119, or visit R&R Remodeling on Facebook. R&R Remodeling, construction you can count on.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. When your air conditioning needs repairing or replacing, call on the reliable service professionals of Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Go to DelcorInc.com or give them a call at 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals in Greenville. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
Igoe just made a funny joke. He said, turn it to the Orioles game. Oh, wait, we can't. Because they're... Thank you, Chandler. They're blacked out. Chandler, did you see Washington National Josh Bell tried to watch the Nationals while he was unavailable to play, but he couldn't because they were blacked out?
Oh, no, I did not see that. I did see he was back in the lineup yesterday.
Yeah.
Kyle Schwarber.
So he could actually see the game because he's a Major League Baseball player. But a reporter had got a quote from him where he said he could not watch the game, which is awesome. I mean, that's just classic baseball right there, Major League Baseball.
I can somewhat understand the same state or like being in the same city. But, I mean, we're in Greenville, North Carolina. We can't watch the Baltimore Orioles or the Washington Nationals. And it's just so lame. Like, I would be so infuriated if I was a fan of either one of those teams.
I'm just irate.
That was a fake irate. But
no, I really am mad.
How many computers have you fried trying to watch the Nationals on an illegal stream?
I don't know.
On an illegal
screen?
About that. On an illegal
What are you talking about?
How many on the legal screen? Mariners lead 3-0.
They do.
They're facing a tough pitcher today, right?
John Means.
Oh, wait. Oh, okay, that's right. He is a good pitcher. He's their only good pitcher. But you mentioned Matt Harvey, so I thought that's why.
That's a couple of days. I was just looking at the pitching probables.
Matt Harvey, still in the league for the Baltimore Orioles. All right, Steven.
Clip.
Where to go? Football, basketball. Jaden Gardner is a Cavalier. Oh, let's talk about Joe Dooley.
Let's do that.
He is the head basketball coach of the Pirates. He will remain the head basketball coach of the Pirates. Now, Steven, you've been following this quite a bit. You said that, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head here, people from the inside were saying there's nothing to the rumors and everything. Outside sources were saying there was some potential fire to go with the smoke. So, I don't know. What the last 48 hours, Steven, what transpired with this Joe Dooley deal with Kansas?
That's a great question. So, what was the first day that it started to come about? Sunday.
Sunday was they were talking about in the press box. Sunday morning.
I texted Joe Dooley that day and said, "Hey, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't reach out. Are there any? Is there anything to these Kansas rumors?" And he said no. And
literally, that's all he said.
He said no, and I was, just said there's a tweet, and he's like, "Well, I'm not on Twitter." And but then started to follow up with other people and. Just, I talked to people at ECU who said, hey, we haven't heard that, et cetera, et cetera. But other people in the industry have heard, rumblings for, a couple of days now. So, I think there, was definitely at least something there. I mean, I don't think it was just a false rumor. But, and Joe Dooley's not going to come out and say, yeah, I talked to Kansas about potentially going there. Him and Bill Self are still close, so I'm sure they communicate. So the bottom line is, right now, he's the head coach at ECU. He's contractually obligated to be the head coach at ECU through, I believe, June 2023. So, that's the status right now. We'll see what comes of it, but you have to take him at his word. They have signing day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And, I think if he was about to leave, he wouldn't be coming out and saying, I'm here to be the ECU coach. We're trying to talk to recruits. So, but I'm not naive enough for covered sports long enough to know that stuff goes on behind the scenes. No coach is going to come out and say that he's thinking about leaving or anything like that. That would just be, asinine. So, we'll see what happens. But they've got so many new guys coming in. It's important to keep this class together, and it appears that that's the direction they're going.
It seems like it's all good now and blown over. Brian Bailey said that Joe Dooley told him he was on the phone all morning yesterday, talking to recruits, saying he is the coach, come to East Carolina. Do you think like Dooley or Gilbert or somebody should have come out with a comment, or do you not want to set a precedent that every little tweet could force you to make a press release? You know what I'm saying? Did it warrant a response from the university?
I think an official statement would have been the way to go, just because there were so, at least on my end, as a media perspective, I was getting a lot of texts from fans who say, hey, what's going on? From me talking to recruits, just reaching out to those guys that are going to sign this week, they seem to be on board with signing. So I don't know. Maybe we're overblowing it because that's what we do as media. But I do feel like there was enough interest and response that a simple statement, hey, I'm 100% committed to being the ECU men's basketball coach, or we're behind Joe Dooley, would have calmed it down pretty quickly. But that didn't happen, and so Bailey was able to reach out to him, get something more official. I've still reached out to Joe, trying to get something a little more official on the record. We'll see if that happens, but I don't know. Joe too, he's not the type of guy. He's so ingrained in his work. I don't think he's a huge he's not going to take the initiative on that, in my opinion.
And unless somebody tells him, he really doesn't know what's happening on Twitter, probably.
He's not involved with social media.
Or Hoist the Colors message board.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty locked in.
Yeah.
He's not like a lot of coaches these days where he's on Twitter. I'm sure like his, friends and family have informed him, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if he's like, was unaware of the tweet for probably 12 hours or so. But I do think, that coaching changes account, as sketchy as it is, I want to say they broke the news like before Dooley even came to ECU.
Mm-hmm.
Like they dropped it a week out there that, hey, Joe Dooley is going to take the ECU job. And then
it looks sketchy, but it's probably like a guy super in the know that doesn't want to have his name out there.
Exactly. So. Like he's in the know. A lot of what he reports probably is happening, but like he said in his tweet, Joe Dooley might go to ECU or might go to Kansas. Doesn't mean it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like he was probably just hearing that from coaches or whatnot. And if you look at a lot of his tweets, a lot of them are like speculatory, not official. So, yeah, I mean, I don't believe that there was absolutely nothing going on.
Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors here. I didn't know if you were done with your sentence.
I think I don't know if it was either.
Ellipses. Igoe, 3, according to Hoist the Colors, 3 Pirate recruits have signed their letter of intent. That includes Felton from South Carolina, who has an awesome highlight tape. I always thought it was RJ. Was it RJ? And now it's Russell?
His official name is Russell Felton Jr., but he goes by RJ.
RJ, or Russell Jr.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
Or just Russell Felton, but I think he more or less will go by RJ Felton here.
Okay. Alexis Reyes and Tay Mosher, the others. So they're on board.
They are signed.
Okay. Signed, sealed, delivered. The other 3, Marion Lester, a.k.a. Marlon Leston. I'm going to call him Marion Lester, even though his name is Marlon Leston. He is the kid from Canada.
Correct.
Oh, Canada. Javon Small, Jaquan Scott also are hard commits, but those 3 need to sign the dotted line.
Yes, they do, and that period opens tomorrow. I've reached out to all 3. Jaquan Scott told me he's good to sign this week. Javon Small said he will sign soon, probably not Wednesday. Marlon Lesson said he was talking to Coach George Wright Easy today about when to sign. And then you've got the transfer, Winston Tabbs, and I don't know. I guess they can sign a letter of intent, or at least a grant and aid to where they should be able to announce something.
Okay. Well, outside of Tabbs, because he's played college basketball, and we know about him a little bit, who's your favorite, most intriguing prospect on this list right here?
RJ Felton.
Yeah.
I mean,
again, that's the one of the highlight tape I've seen, and he looks pretty explosive.
Big body for a guard, strong, can shoot, can dunk, play defense, just does a lot of different stuff.
Looks like a quality D1 basketball player.
Yeah, he just looks like a guy to me that would have blown up in the spring if it was a normal recruiting period and more coaches saw him.
Yeah. All right. Well, excited about that. So, what's your prediction, Igoe, for tomorrow? You think 1, 2, or 3 sign?
It wouldn't surprise me if they wait till like Friday to announce all the guys.
Okay. Because even if they do, ECU still might hold the announcement.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I think they would hold it till they get all the NLIs in, and sometimes that takes a few days. Just because the period opens Wednesday, it's not like football really, where all of them sign right away. So I think during the fall they announced all 3 of those guys like on a Thursday or Friday after it opened on a Wednesday. So, but yeah, I don't know. I would think all of them are on track to sign based on my conversations with them.
All right, let's do some quick math. 6 in the portal for ECU from last year, 7 incoming just on this list. So that would be, and then how many, do we have any grads that left that aren't on the roster?
Well, you had the Kwanzaa kid who left the team mid-season.
So that would be a 7. So right now we're even par.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're going to look to add more from the portal, correct?
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to do the math in my head. I need to write it all down. But then you also got the situation with J.J. Miles and Tyree Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
But they do not count against the 13. So.
Oh, okay. So you can add a couple more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the numbers are kind of
they're in flux.
They're kind of getting to where we thought it would, like to form a roster for the 2021 season.
If you took the 7 incoming guys right now and you bring back Brandon Suggs, Tristan Newton, Luigi DeBow, and Tremont Robinson-White, that's 11 right there.
Okay.
Plus maybe one of J.J. Miles or Terry Jackson. That's 12. I mean,
and they're going to add what? Size out of the portal? They would like to?
They definitely need to add a big guy. I've heard Hadim C's name for about 2 weeks, but we've talked about Hadim
Bring back C.
We've talked about him for like 4 years now. Until like he actually shows up here, I'm not going to buy that he's coming to ECU.
Yeah, but we got to keep talking about
it. We'll talk about him. We'll get his name right this time. Maybe he'll come.
That was the problem last time. We kept calling him Kadeem Sai.
Yeah.
And his name is Hadim C. Why would you go somewhere where everybody called you by the wrong name? It makes sense.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's a fair point.
We won't see. ECU, like spell his name.
Yeah.
Like we can do so much fun stuff with it. All right, let's take another timeout. We'll come back. One more segment to go with Igoe till he heads out to the ECU practice fields. We'll be back with more Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday. We got to open up the booty bag. We'll do that at the end of next segment when we say goodbye to Igoe. Back with you after this.
Spring is a great time to plant flowers, trees, and bushes. When planning your landscape, please keep in mind that you should never plant anything within 3 feet of a gas, electric, or water meter. The same thing applies if you have an electric transformer in your yard, except keep plants 8 feet clear of the front in case crews need access during a storm or an outage. Always remember to call 811 at least 3 business days before you dig to avoid underground lines. This important safety message is from your neighbors at Greenville Utilities.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. A wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts is your hometown shop for gifts and fresh flowers. You can find unique items like Brewmate and apparel by Southern Couture, Simply Southern, and Bella Cotton. The Farmville Flower Basket also has items coming in daily for the spring and summer. Whether it's a gift or a flower arrangement for that special someone, you can find it at Farmville Flower Basket and Gifts. Give them a call today at 753-4217 or stop by their shop on Main Street in Farmville.
Been pulled over for speeding and written a ticket? Then you need to call O'Neill's Speedometer Service in Greenville. O'Neill's can calibrate all vehicles for speeding tickets. All-wheel drives, no problem. 18-wheelers, no problem. Motorcycles, no problem. O'Neill's can also repair instrument gauges that have stopped working. Whether you drive a Ford or GMC, Greenville's trusted speedometer shop for over 30 years is O'Neill's. Call today for repairs or calibration work at 756-5050. O'Neill's Speedometer Service. Go Pirates.
If you love the food at Villa Verde, and hey, who doesn't? Now Villa Verde makes it even easier for you to order takeout. Tell us about it, Jay.
If you go to myvillaverde.com, you can order online, and we'll have it ready for you to go. Plus, you can pick it up at either one of our locations. No waiting in line to pay, and no waiting at all. Just pick it up and go. With online ordering from myvillaverde.com or from our mobile app, plus even from our Facebook page. Villa Verde, now with 2 Greenville locations to serve you. Villa Verde, a platform for good.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges. And this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
The area's #1 pool builder for over 40 years is Greenville Pool and Supply. From fiberglass to vinyl to custom concrete, they do it all. And if you already have a pool, make sure your water is clean and safe this swim season with the help of the pros at Greenville Pool. If you bring a water sample to them, they'll test it for you in the store for free. And going on now is the annual water care sale with 20% off all water care products in the entire store. The 20% off sale is going on now until Saturday, April 17th, but only at Greenville Pool and Supply.
This is retired ECU baseball player Charlie Yorgan, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service the #1 priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard, conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Broad.
Back with you on Pirate Radio Live. We like to play little games during the break. Today we played Name the First Names of the guys in the Mariners lineup. And your guy, your sports director, your sports know-it-all, Clip Brock, got 3 out of 9. So
333. I mean, I could do the same thing for the Orioles, and I don't know.
I could do a little better with them, I think.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right. We've got Derek Mullins is the coach of Pitt
Community College.
Cedric
Mullins?
Was he an old NC State player? All right, let me move on. Trey Mancini, Anthony Santander. Is that his name?
Wait, well, that's not the Orioles. Are you doing the Orioles lineup?
Yeah.
Oh, then it's Santander.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I do know that's Michael Franco, the guy that was with the Phillies.
Okay, yeah.
I know him. Pedro Severino.
Correct.
Okay. Ryan Mountcastle. I don't know Stewart's first name that starts with a D. DJ Stewart.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Urias's first name. Raul. And Freddie Galvis.
Yep.
All right. I did pretty good with the others.
This is a pretty obscure matchup. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Mariners, Orioles, 2 teams in total rebuilds.
Fighting for the cellar.
Well, they're supposed to play a day-night doubleheader.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have they finished the first game already? Or
They're in the 5th inning right now.
Interesting.
Mariners lead 3-0.
Okay, because we're scheduled to pick up the game at 7:00.
Okay.
So,
and they only play 7 innings, so they'll definitely be done by then.
Yeah.
So we've got the Pirate Radio podcast coming your way at 6, and then O's Mariners Igoe. You can't watch it on TV, so you can listen to it on Pirate Radio.
Yeah, I have to do that because, I mean, it's tough. A 4-game series, too. And to go 4 games without being able to watch my team is not cool. Like, I'm just, especially when they're on the East Coast, I can actually watch them, not stay up till 1 a.m. every morning.
That's why I hate when the Braves play the Nats, especially when they had, like, Harper, and they were huge games, and you couldn't watch them. It kind of stinks. All right, Pirate football, I go back on the practice fields, and Ronnie said yesterday, and I feel like you've talked about this guy too, DJ Ford. Like he's already talking to the media. I liked his interview. Seems like a pretty mature guy. Like so he's immediate impact. He started from day one. He's an impact defensive player.
Yeah, I think he's your #1 boundary safety to start with, and it sounds like that's where he's being utilized. And the boundary safety is going to play closer to the line of scrimmage, more run support, more blitzing, more so than the field safety, which is more of a pass coverage guy. Like last year, Sean Dorseau was the boundary, Warren Sapa was pass, so you would see Dorseau more on blitzes and Saba more in pass coverage. So Ford will be around the line of scrimmage a good bit and in coverage. Just the biggest thing about DJ is not only is he huge, he's 6'3", 215, as linked to the secondary, which, by the way, you're going to have Jira out there, Jira Wilson, who's also 6'3", 200, and DJ in the same secondary. That is a long couple of dudes in the secondary, but he's got a high football IQ. You know, he's smart, super intelligent, just gets it. So he picked up the defense right away. He knows how important team chemistry is. I remember talking to him after he transferred or picked ECU as a transfer destination. He said, I'm coming in for spring not only to learn the defense, but I have to get to know my teammates and my coaches, or else that transition isn't going to be smooth. And he said it's been pretty effortlessly.
Yeah, said he didn't have to force anything, that it's been, like you said, a very, very smooth transition for him. And he talked a lot, too, about how part of it for him is just getting acclimated back to football, like not just ECU football, but football in general after not playing for a year. So he's definitely excited to be out there. You guys also talked to Tyler Snead on Sunday as well, Mr. Reliable. I think it was you, Igoe, that asked him, do you feel like you have to go 100 miles per hour? And he basically said, yeah, I mean, you guys know my frame. You know how small I am. If I don't go 100 miles an hour, then I'm not going to be anything. We get lost in the shuffle, basically. So that's his attitude, and it's an awesome attitude to have.
He kind of said that with like a little smile, but at the same time, he knows he's better than the guys he's going against. But he's like, that's just how I'm built, and like he almost said it like as a bit of a joke because it's how people look at him, which is true, because I mean he came in as a walk-on, and I think that's the biggest thing about it. When you come in that way, you do have to work that hard. Like there's nothing handed to you. So like once you have that ingrained in you, and you have success based off that, why would you change what you're doing? I mean, that's what makes the walk-on story special. Like even Elijah Morris, he's the same way. Now that he's got a scholarship, he's not going to go out there loafing. I'm being out there at practice, you do see some guys loafing through drills, but it's never those guys because they know how much each practice means and each opportunity means. So you wish all of them would practice like that, but it's not that way at any program across the country.
Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors is here. Football, basketball, baseball news can be found at hoistthecolors.net. Stephen, Mike Houston was on the Brian Bailey show earlier this week. We'll probably play some of those comments coming up after Igoe dips out here in a moment. But Brian Bailey asked him about what position battles are you looking forward to the remainder of spring practice, and one of those he said is the backup quarterback spot. And he talked about Mason Garcia and said that he knows the plays now. He knows his receivers' routes, which is, and I'm sure he knew, and they really scaled it down for him when he started that game last year against Navy, but kind of scary to think about too, where you had a guy out there that did not fully know what was going on, and it kind of showed in his play. But how far along is he compared to last year? Is he the backup? And do you still like his future here at East Carolina as a quarterback?
Yes, to the last two of your questions, for sure. I think he's definitely the backup. I think they're going to give him every opportunity to win the job. He has gotten much better. Just watching him in a red zone drill on Sunday, like he was going through his progressions. He didn't have the same happy feet. He's still not perfect. I mean, he's still got a long ways to go, but he made some great throws. Really strong arm, can run. I mean, he is the total package. The biggest thing for him, as we've always talked about, is the IQ side of things, getting the offense. And last year, he came from a high school program that was a good program, but didn't do anything complicated on offense. So he just had to learn so much in his first year at ECU, and he had to do it during COVID, do it on the fly, do it on a short week in the middle of the season when it was kind of unexpected. So he's definitely making progress. And it shows from what little we've been able to see. But, I mean, there still is a substantial drop-off when you see Holton Ahlers run the offense and everything is so quick, and they put one of the other quarterbacks in, and it's not quite as clean in terms of, ball out here as soon as the guy's open, that sort of stuff. But he's definitely making progress.
All right, let's see, we'll let you get out of here. You're headed to ECU football practice. Coming up on Saturday, it would have been the spring game where fans could have gone and seen the Pirates. There will be no spring game for the fans this year, but they are planning to scrimmage. I think it was Bailey yesterday said that they had already made plans for families to come in for the spring game and everything. So they're going to do some type of scrimmage this weekend, right?
Yeah, they're going to do a full 100-play scrimmage, it sounds like, and do a ton of a ton of work because they really lost a scrimmage day. They were supposed to have 2 scrimmages leading up to the Purple Gold game. So, 100 plays is a lot for a scrimmage, basically getting an entire full game. But they need that work. Unfortunately, there's still guys in the return to play protocol, so they're going to be a little shorthanded. You can't just bring a guy back and throw him out there in a full contact scrimmage. But by hopefully the next Saturday, they should have most of it back for a full roster scrimmage to close up spring ball.
Igoe, thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later on this week.
All right, go Mariners.
Go M's. And Shirley, go Red Sox. Boston just finished out a 4-2 victory over the Twins as they pick up a W today in Minnesota.
Rafael Devers, another dinger for the Bo Sox.
All right. He is being saluted by his teammates as they wrap up this game in Minnesota. Let's open up the Pirate Radio booty bag right about now.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, you know the number, but I'll say it anyway. Hey, maybe we have a new listener who could get lucky. A first-timer tuned in today. 317-1250, 252-317-1250. That's the number you have to call and dial. Shirley, what are we giving away?
Lunch for 2 at Tiebreakers.
Great prize on the line. Lunch for 2 at Tiebreakers. What caller are we looking for?
I'm going with caller number 8.
Caller 8 at 317-1250. You can be a winner. We're back with more Pirate Radio Live. We'll talk more Pirate football when we return after this.
In a world of fake profiles, fake tans, and fake flavors, naturally flavored Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer strives for realness. It's USDA certified organic, with no sugar or carbs, and only 80 calories. So the only thing touching your taste buds is organic, refreshing, and delicious. Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, as real as it tastes. Enjoy responsibly, not a low-calorie food. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer, IRC Beer, St. Louis, Missouri 63118.
A car wash experience like no other is here at the new Tommy's Express. You'll enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride through our bright, inviting wash as luscious foams and soft cloths treat your car like new. After a final rinse, wax, and blow dry for a beautiful spot-free shine in just about 3 minutes, help yourself to our free vacuums and mat washers. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
Here with Melissa from ENS Hemp Company. Melissa, tell us how your products and services can help people.
Well, for over 2.5 years, the team at ENS Hemp Company has been helping educate our community on the many benefits of our products. Our customers have seen great success dealing with everything from stress, anxiety, fatigue, pain, and PTSD, just to name a few. You can come in today and our staff can help you find the best products for your needs. You can visit us at Fire Tower Road near Sam Jones Barbecue or enshempcompany.com.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust? Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked! This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust One-Topping Pizza for only $12. The new Epic Stuffed Crust Pizza is the MVP move for game day or any day. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
Hey, Eastern North Carolina, this is Miles Minges, and this is Landon Minges with Minges Bottling Group. We are proud to announce that Pepsi is once again the official soft drink of the ECU Pirates. That's right, Miles. Our family's purple and gold roots run deep. From founding members of the Pirate Club, alumni, and even a team physician, our support over the last 60 years has never wavered. We are Pirates. We're excited to be back at ECU and are honored to serve our great customers throughout Eastern North Carolina. Not only is this the birthplace of Pepsi-Cola, this is our home. Cheers, Pirate Nation. I like the sound of that. Support local, drink local, stay safe, and drink Pepsi.
Hey, Pirate fans, it's time to get that yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 10/29/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
What the heck was that?
There goes Chuck from Naughty Dog again, so pumped about the awesome things at Naughty Dog, he runs around town screaming with excitement. Naughty Dog releases 2 to 3 beers every month, has food trucks every Friday and Saturday, wine specials every Wednesday, plenty of indoor and outdoor space to enjoy, beers to go with curbside pickup, and just launched the new Koozie Club. Be sure to ask about that on your next visit. Naughty Dog Brewing Company on Main Street in downtown Winterville, and be sure to follow Naughty Dog on Facebook and Instagram.
If you are push mowing your yard using an inefficient lawn tractor or your current zero-turn spends more time in the shop than mowing your grass, it's time you look at a Hustler zero-turn lawnmower. Residential mowers from Hustler are built like tanks and drive like sports cars. All Hustler mowers have fabricated, welded steel decks. Don't settle on cheap units with flimsy stamped decks from big box stores. Come see Ron Ayers Motorsports. It will guide you to the right mower for your property and your budget. Find us at Ron Ayers Motorsports, Highway 11 north of the airport in Greenville.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit QualityEquip.com to find the location near you. And congratulations to Jonathan Landon of Farmville. Picked up lunch for 2 at Tiebreakers. Tiebreakers is open every day at 11 a.m. and is the best place to watch your favorite sports while enjoying the best wings in town, along with sandwiches, appetizers, cold beer, and more. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Cliff Rock.
All right, recapping our top stories of the day on the Bud Light ECU Report, brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game, drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Your ECU baseball report, some COVID concerns within the Houston baseball program. It is uncertain whether or not they will be hosting ECU this weekend. Pirates are set to travel on Thursday. If Houston cannot play, ECU could look to add potentially Creighton, who will not be playing UConn this weekend. Stephen Igoe also said High Point is available if they want to go the local route. So if ECU Houston can't go on, the Pirates may try to find a replacement. But more on that as we find out. And you can follow our social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram for the latest. ECU football. We are out at the practice fields right now. Got some great video and pictures of what's going on out at ECU football practice, and we'll have some post-practice audio and video from Mike Houston, so stay tuned to our social media sites for that later on this afternoon, this evening, and we'll have the audio for you coming up on Wednesday's edition of Pirate Radio Live when Bryce Williams joined us. Bryce was out at a practice recently, so we'll get his firsthand report about what happened there at practice when Big Bryce was out there recently. ECU basketball, well, former Pirate in the news, Jaden Gardner selected Virginia as his next home. He will play basketball for Tony Bennett next season. ECU looking to welcome in some new Pirates coming up on Wednesday as the signing period begins. Basketball players can sign. The Pirates already have 3 signees. They are looking to have 3 more sign the dotted line and the transfer tabs, and they can do that coming up on Wednesday. So that's what's going on right now. We talked to Jason Hamilton earlier on in the show. ECU women's soccer playing Thursday night, 7 o'clock, ESPN Plus in the AAC tournament. They're in the semifinals taking on South Florida coming up on Thursday night. All right, that is the part of the Bud Light ECU report brought to you by Bud Light. Shirley, let's hear from Mike Houston. Again, we'll have some fresh audio and video for you coming up later today on our social media sites. This is from Monday's edition of the Brian Bailey Show. And let's hear Mike Houston 3. How far has the team come along this spring?
Oh, it's not even close. I mean, it's certainly come a long way since that first day. It was actually, it's kind of, it was depressing the first evening I met with them. I think 2 days after the NC State game to finish the season, and met with them in the team room on a Monday night, John Gilbert and I. And you could see it in their eyes and the way they carried themselves. They were beaten down, and the facility was too. The facilities did not look first class. So now we got a pep in our step. We have a confident bunch. They're excited about the fall, because they know we got a shot to do something this fall, and they've worked for that opportunity, and we've worked hard with the program inside and out. Cosmetically, we've changed the way our appearance is when people walk in the building, but I think the way our kids carry themselves around practice, around campus, you can see their belief. So come a long ways.
Mike Houston there, they have come a long ways. Who are some young guys that are coming a long way in a quick period of time? Let's hear Mike Houston one, Shirley, as he singled out some of the younger players that could see time this fall.
Well, I think we got a lot of them. You look on either side of the football, offensively, I'll just think of a guy that I think's had two really good practices the last couple times out, Taji Hudson. Former quarterback. We moved him to receiver. He is a big physical kid. Made a great play on a jump ball and a post ball yesterday in practice. And every day he's doing a few things more and more right and looking more and more the part. And you got a lot of guys like that. Shane Calhoun, I think, is having a great spring at tight end. Had a big play in the red zone yesterday, but doing a good job in the run game and the pass game. Up front on the offensive line, Trent Holler was back, full go yesterday, and certainly a guy that I have high expectations for this fall. Excited about him. Defensively, and you could go just almost every position, but defensively, those young D linemen, this has been a great spring for them, and excited to see, kind of what they're going to develop into.
All right, I'm excited about some of those names. Taji Hudson, especially, they were excited about him. Even when they brought him in as a QB, you kind of felt like he might get moved to receiver, and I think he's going to turn out to be a good one. And Chandler, it was good to hear him talk about Trent Holler. ECU has been so snake bit at the center position over the years with Winstead's injury, with Spellacy unable to continue to play football. They have recruited pretty well there, just have not had good luck, and they hope they found one in Holler. Fernando Fry has done all he could to fill in. He's done a fantastic job. Unfortunately, I think he's been out during the spring, so they've had to go to Avery Jones snapping the football. So they've had some issues there on the O-line in the interior, but maybe Trent Holler, a guy that can bring a little stability to that interior offensive line.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time we had a guy at the center position that was the guy. It seems like they've been kind of back and forth with putting people in there. But now I tell you what, one thing that we've mentioned with the offensive line is the size. Looking at the video that we have put up on our social media accounts, Jenny and Glenn doing a great job with that. I'm noticing that a size difference at the offensive line position. The guys are looking a lot bigger, looking a lot stronger, and seeing them hit the sled. I mean, the offensive line in general is looking like it is a total upgrade when it comes to size.
Mike Houston gave the plan for practice coming up this week, Shirley. This is cut two.
Well, big get ready for Saturday deal, because it's going to be we're going to treat it a game simulation kind of deal this Saturday with the scrimmage. So a lot of work special teams wise, kickoff return. We want to get some live work with that. We've already got punt and red black our punt return unit in, and then a lot of red zone, short yardage goal line situation work Tuesday and Thursday to get ready for Saturday, and then Saturday, I'm gonna send the coordinators up top and split sidelines and throw the ball out there and let it go. So we're gonna try to get probably 100 play scrimmage in Saturday. That would be good.
Played this one earlier in the show, but he says something in it that got me fired up for fans at Dowdy Ficklin Stadium. This is cut 4, Shirley, where Coach Houston and Brian Bailey were talking about what it was like last year without fans in the stands.
after we kind of got into it and you got kind of used to it, it was fine because once the game starts, you get so just engrossed in the ball game in front of you that you don't really notice everything around you. But certainly, I've said it many times, that SMU game, if we had had a full stadium in that first half, they may not have come out of the locker room, for the second half. So
they didn't want to anyway.
Well, I mean, but you know what our stadium is like when we're on a roll. And it would have been suffocating. Yeah. And so I really look forward to getting back to that. Hopefully it's this fall. Hopefully we can get things under control in our state on a lot of levels, and that way we can have capacity crowds again.
Suffocating. That's the word that got me going. Like just all intense, all over the opposing team, sucking the life right out of them. Chandler, suffocating.
Mike Houston has a way of pumping you up, and it might take one word like suffocating. I've never used, and I've heard a lot of descriptions of Dowdy Ficklin Stadium when it's packed. I've never heard of it being suffocating.
I know. I agree.
Now that I look back on some of the games that I've been to, some of the big games in Dowdy Ficklin Stadium, I'm sure it was suffocating for the opposing teams.
Mike Houston was asked, what is he most proud of heading into year 3 since he got here to Greenville with this football program? Number 5.
Well, I mean, there's lots. I think probably the biggest factor is just the culture within the program, within the building. It's now such a positive family, they all pull for each other, help each other. I mean, even when we have our disagreements, what you're going to have,
right?
It doesn't linger, and and that carries over. I always said, you can talk about a lot of things outside of wins and losses, and really people don't really care about them a whole lot. But our team GPA is at an all-time high. Our APR is at an all-time high, and that's because of retention. That's because of performance in the classroom, but those things I do think directly correlate to positive culture.
Mike Houston on the Brian Bailey Show. You can hear it in its entirety. PR927fm.com. You can watch it on Facebook Live. You can watch it on YouTube. It is available. Bailey's full chat with Coach Houston from Monday, and had a lot to say there. He'll have a lot to say coming up after today's practice, and we'll have that video and audio for you on our social media sites, so stay tuned for that. That is our ECU report, brought to you by Bud Light. It reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, the official beer of the ECU Pirates, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. All right, here's a new game. I'm going to read a tweet from earlier today. You have to tell me who tweeted this.
Okay. This could be easy or this could be hard.
It could, or it could. In a chat with Kelvin Sampson, he raved about Jaden Gardner from East Carolina. The good news is UVA Men's Hoops is getting a quality PTP from the transfer portal.
Dick Vitale.
Bad news is that mid-major talents developed will say bye-bye.
Dick Vitale.
A new trend. All right, Shirley, who is that?
Josh Graham.
No.
I just said it twice.
I know, but you didn't let me finish, so I was going to let Shirley win.
Oh, I didn't know you were going to do the imitation of the person tweeting. I thought you were doing that to throw him off.
No, I was doing the voice from the tweet. Chandler,
okay, then it would have
guess?
been Dick Vitale.
Shirley wins. Dick Vitale is correct. Chandler, don't answer while I'm doing the. I don't like that.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. You nailed it. It was Dickie V. Dickie V.
Yeah, baby.
I like that he types out PT Peer in his. He's a primetime player.
Primetime player.
But he's right, baby. It's bad news.
I wish he would have went the dope, baby.
Duh. Could you imagine him with Coach K and Mickey Krzyzewski watching Jaden Gardner from Cameron Indoor, baby?
I heard he was going to Carolina, and then Roy Williams retired, baby.
But now they got Hubert Davis, baby.
I love Hubie.
All right, let's take a time out. We'll come
Y'all
back.
have lost your marbles.
Marbles.
Onions.
You have no marbles. We will come back and wrap up a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. We'll set up Wednesday's show for you. Got 4 guests lined up at the moment, maybe adding more. We'll tell you what's coming up on Wednesday when we return after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 Cadillac and save over $4,000 off and 0.9% for 72 months. And as always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
The brand new chancellor of East Carolina University, Dr. Philip Rogers.
Greenville has been home, and it was just one of those places growing up that it was so impactful in my life that the thought of coming back to East Carolina University and raising my 2 boys here was a no-brainer.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
You don't need a big meeting. You don't need a birthday. You don't need any excuse at all. You just need to love subs. Times 12. Order the Jersey Mike's catering box today. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above. Good things come to those who wait. At Jersey Mike's, they also come to those who don't. Download our app, order ahead, and skip the line. Cut to the Chase by Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash and Haviland Express Lube on Glen Burnie Road in New Bern is now open. Pirates Cove in New Bern is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. You can visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and on East 10th Street. And have you heard? Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Sam Jones, and we're open and here to serve you with some of the best whole hog barbecue, chicken, turkey, ribs, and homemade sides every day for lunch and dinner. There are 3 easy ways to enjoy Sam Jones barbecue. Swing by our drive-thru window or try one of our 2 curbside takeout options by calling in your order at 689-6997 or ordering online at samjonesbbq.com. We love Eastern North Carolina, and we invite you to come by and enjoy some great tasting Sam Jones barbecue today.
Sawyer's Fun Park is now open in Greenville. This state-of-the-art 40,000 square foot facility features a 2-story LED interactive laser tag, a one-of-a-kind 2-story ninja course, a ropes course with a 180-degree zip line, and it's only one of 5 in the country that are indoors. Multiple climbing walls, a super cool arcade with 40-plus games, and a brand-new full-service cafe and bar for adults. Visit the brand-new Sawyer's Fun Park, now open, located right behind ARU on Corey Road, Greenville.
This is East Carolina assistant basketball coach Steve Rockford, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Take a look at your stock market report for today. The Dow was down 68 points, but closed at 33,677. The NASDAQ was up 146 points at 13,996. And the S&P was up 13 at 4,141. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Yeah. Welcome back to the program. Clip Brock here on a Tuesday. Steve Hill says, bring Chandler to trivia tomorrow. We need a diaper dandy, baby.
I'm coming, baby.
Shirley is like, I mean, I don't even know, fed up.
Shirley Rhodes. oh, Shirley. She hit the softball over the left field fence.
My
baby.
Line.
Dipsy-doo, dunkaroo. Dipsy-doo, dunkaroo.
So Chandler will be heading to trivia on Wednesday nights.
I will be there.
Steve Hill will be our guest host. I'll be participating, so come on out and see if you can defeat me in sports trivia, which I haven't won in a long time.
The past 2 or 3 times that you have played and participated, you have verbally abused me and my teammate and all of our teammates.
Would you say I'm not a good teammate?
Absolutely. You need to enter the transfer portal.
I get
competitive. You like to compete.
I want to win. I want to compete.
Let's just not get physical.
There's nothing wrong with competing.
Last time I suffocated Chandler.
Let's just not get physical.
In round 3, I tend to I run out of patience. I get frustrated. That's my problem. That's why I don't play golf.
But you know what? I love our group. I love our bunch.
We're good kids.
We're a good bunch.
It's a tough league there. I mean,
it is
some tough teams.
B team, they're always good. EC Skins. It's a tough league.
Yeah, tough league. All right, we'll be out there Wednesday night. AJ's looking forward to that. Coming up in about 5 minutes, Shirley, we've got the Pirate Radio podcast. If you're listening to our live edition with the voice Jeff Charles and Pat Watkins, his guest, and you can download that if you'd like, the Pirate Radio podcast, brought to you by White Claw Hard Seltzer. And Shirley, let's give a little tease on what's coming up with Pat and the voice.
I don't know how many people know this, Pat, but you were an outstanding football player, and from what we understand, you were offered an opportunity to play football at Duke. Is that right?
Yeah, that was right. Spurrier recruited me, and I probably would have been a Duke football player if he would have not won the ACC championship and got a job at Florida. So he took the Florida role, which I was not equipped to go and play quarterback at, and the other guy that came in after him at Duke just didn't like me as much as one of the other quarterbacks, and that was really the only place I kind of felt led to play football, just because of the academics. My dad and mother, being educators, really drilled in me academics and the importance. And I didn't love football enough to really go and play it. I had the chances to play at App State and Western and some other places, and I really at that point just fell in love with baseball, and the possibilities of playing that in college felt like a better fit for me after football fell kind of through, and I couldn't find a better place than East Carolina to do that.
That is the voice with ECU Hall of Famer Pat Watkins, and Pat was on the 1993 All-American team. Some other names on that list. How about Jason Varitek was on that list. Shirley was a fan of him. Hey, we talked about this guy earlier today, Paul Aduka, who just lost
$500,000.
$500,000 to Joe West, was on that list. Brooks Kieschnick, he was supposed to be the man. I remember his name when I was growing up, on that list as well. Mark Loretta, Todd Walker, some very familiar names. Part of that All-American team. And let's see, he was drafted 32nd overall in the 1993 Major League Baseball draft. The number 1 pick of the 1993 Major League Baseball draft was Alex Rodriguez, taking 31 spots ahead. Billy Wagner, who we also talked about, was involved in that Paul Aduka deal, was drafted that year. Derek Lee, Torrey Hunter, So those are some names you would recognize from the 1993 Major League Baseball draft. So I find those things interesting.
And that is very interesting.
Chandler's looking at me like it's the
Wait, you said
most
93?
boring thing he's ever heard in his life.
Cool, neat story.
Did you say 93?
93, yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Shirley, for at least pretending to be interested.
Well, 93 was the year I graduated high school.
Shirley Rhodes, were you drafted in the Major League Baseball draft?
No, I was not. I wasn't drafted into anything.
Coming up Wednesday, we will talk some MLB and ECU with Malcolm Gray. He'll join us. Also, more ECU baseball talk with Corey Glore, the 1-0. We'll talk to Corey about getting his windshield bashed in by a baseball at Clark LeClaire Stadium.
It was not fun.
Got that coming up on Wednesday. We'll have an ECU football report for you from a man who was on the scene recently. Bryce Williams going to join us on the show on Wednesday.
Was it great to be back out there?
Was it last week when Bryce was on the phone and caught a fish live on the air? I think that was last Wednesday.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I don't remember him catching a fish on the air.
You got to pay attention. We will talk to Bryce coming up and the voice, Jeff Charles. No impression of Jeff?
Cool, neat story. And that's Padwalking.
Chandler Honeycutt will be here on Wednesday, as will Shirley Rhodes, and hopefully you will too. We will see you then Thursday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. For the crew here, I'm Clip Brock. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.